Chapter 1200. Where is this place? What happened? Many alarmed questions rang out in Zhao Feng's ears. Zhao Feng scanned the area. This was an empty dimension with 42 bubbles, each one containing a person. In front of all these people was a silver door that glowed with a dazzling light. Bang! Quite a few people attacked the bubbles in front of them, but they discovered that even their strongest attacks were unable to shake them in the slightest. The power of space. A rank 4 true god of the spacetime sacred land used his hand to touch the bubble in front of him. This was a small independent space of a very high level. It was impossible for anyone present to break it open. Bzzz. At this moment, a half-transparent long-haired elder appeared above everyone. This elder was wearing the spacetime robe. Who is senior? Why have we been trapped here? The moment the elder appeared, many people began to question him. Didn't you want the spacetime robe? You chose to enter. The elder had a benevolent and profound smile on his face. The spacetime robe? Quite a few people heard this name but still didn't know what it was. Some people instantly recalled the secrets of the spacetime robe and were stunned. Whoosh! The elder extended a hand, sprinkling silver light over all the spatial bubbles. Words and images have suddenly appeared on these bubbles. Someone suddenly cried out in alarm. Then, everyone discovered that countless words and a simple picture had appeared on the bubbles they were in. This is a combat skill. Zhao Feng's eyes widened in shock. He scanned the area and realized that each person could only see the combat skill on their own spatial bubble. I will give you 3 days to comprehend the combat skill of your own dimension. Use this combat skill to break the spatial bubble that has trapped you. After 3 days, those who are still trapped in the spatial bubble will be eliminated. The old man in the air scanned the crowd with anticipation. This is a test. Quite a few people instantly understood the elder's intentions. The spacetime robe was probably choosing a suitable master. In addition, those who break the spatial bubble first will receive many benefits. The elder added with a smile. Benefits. Many people became excited and immediately started to comprehend the battle skills in front of them. They had to come out of the bubble first. His comprehension ability isn't bad either. Zhao Feng's lips curled into a smile. He didn't know what the comprehension abilities of the geniuses of the ancient desolate realm of gods were like, but Zhao Feng felt that his comprehension abilities shouldn't be much weaker than theirs. Swoosh! Zhao Feng circulated his god's spiritual eye and quickly scanned through the techniques on the spatial bubble. Spacetime combat skill, heaven engulfing palm, mid-grade high god realm. Zhao Feng was taken aback. He did not expect that this combat skill was actually a spacetime combat skill. The profound of space was already difficult to comprehend. If he were to add the higher level profound of time, the difficulty would be too great. Moreover, the combat skill itself was a mid-tier divine level, and he could only use it for 3 days. Little Black, what is this combat skill in front of you? Zhao Feng suddenly thought of something and asked directly. Spacetime combat skill. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon said. Just as I expected. Zhao Feng sighed in surprise. Everyone should be facing a spacetime combat skill, so it was relatively fair. However, the people of the spacetime sacred land had an innate advantage, especially those who had the eye of spacetime. But what Zhao Feng did not know was that even with the eye of spacetime, the majority of people could only use space intent, unable to control time intent. Forget it, I'll comprehend it first. Now that Zhao Feng had been brought into this dimension, he could no longer fight over other treasures. Buzz! Buzz! Using the god's spiritual eye, Zhao Feng's thinking ability, speed, and comprehension ability rapidly increased. Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye already possessed a space-type ability. Zhao Feng quickly began to comprehend the heaven engulfing palm from the aspect of space. These were just a few simple palm techniques, but they contained a profound intent. When combined with time intent and space intent, they could display terrifying power. If he could completely comprehend it, it would probably be comparable to an ordinary high-tier divine-level combat skill. This diagram. Zhao Feng's gaze fell upon the diagram next to the words. This was clearly a simple diagram, but when Zhao Feng focused on it, the image within the diagram suddenly began to change. In the diagram, a white-haired elder stood on a vast and boundless land. This elder was currently demonstrating the heaven-engulfing palm. Whoosh! This seemingly slow palm was imbued with an enormous pressure of the world, able to ignore space and slow time as it rumbled forward. It seemed capable of suppressing all things in the world beneath this palm. As Zhao Feng's mind sank into the diagram, he felt like he was personally experiencing the elder's demonstration of this palm technique. How wondrous! Zhao Feng sighed in amazement. This observation not only allowed Zhao Feng to gain a deeper understanding of the heaven-engulfing palm, it also allowed Zhao Feng's understanding of space intent to rapidly increase. Zhao Feng even vaguely felt like he could clearly sense the existence of time intent. I wonder if there will be any difference if I place this diagram into the god's spiritual eye. A pensive look appeared on Zhao Feng's face. Those who comprehended space-time combat skills and were already skilled in space intent, such as the people of the space-time sacred land, would definitely have an advantage. Thus, Zhao Feng had to treasure every second and use every method at his disposal to comprehend the heaven-engulfing palm and shatter the spatial bubble in front of him. Absorb. Zhao Feng used the god's spiritual eye's ability to focus on that simple diagram. Swish. Zhao Feng's mind sank into his mind. Whoosh. Howling winds howled over the vast land. A white-haired elder stood ramrod straight like an ancient tree. Whoosh. Suddenly, the elder began to demonstrate the heaven-engulfing palm. At this moment, Zhao Feng seemed to become this elder's opponent. He could clearly sense the space-time intent in the elder's palm. As this palm pushed forward, Zhao Feng felt like the world had transformed into this palm. He couldn't dodge, and he felt like he was suffocating. Boom! The palm passed through Zhao Feng's body. It's even more effective in the God-eye dimension. Zhao Feng was elated. In this way, Zhao Feng could comprehend this skill much more efficiently than others. Whoosh! Whoosh! Zhao Feng seemed to be right next to the elder, accompanying him in cultivating this palm technique. Boom! Bang! Crash! At this moment, some people were already attempting to shatter the spatial bubble. After all, the elder had said that it was better to break the spatial bubble first. So tough! An expert of the spacetime sacred land said in shock. He had just scratched the surface of this skill and wanted to give it a try, but he only managed to make the spatial bubble tremble a little. However, if he used any other skill to attack, the spatial bubble would give him the impression that it was impenetrable. So difficult. A quasi-god with a heavy heart sighed. A spacetime combat skill, and a middle-tier divine level one at that, was simply too profound. He had no idea where to start. On the other side, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon had a faint smile on its face. If I get the spacetime robe this time, I might be able to negotiate with Master. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon had an extremely high level of mastery over a wide range of skills, and its ability to use space intent had also returned to level 2. Although the spacetime combat skill before it was profound, it would definitely be able to comprehend it much faster than others. Boom! Bang! Crash! More and more people tried to attack the spatial bubble, but they all failed. On the second day, Quasi-God Kong Yuan and another rank 4 true god of the spacetime sacred land managed to break the bubble. You can go behind that door now. The elder in the air said with a smile. Swoosh! Swoosh! The two of them passed through the huge silver door and disappeared. Just what's so good about that door? Quite a few people felt an itch, but they couldn't break the bubble. Senior, this isn't fair. Those two people just now had extremely profound space intent, and they also had the eye of spacetime. A youth immediately said. The toughness of the spatial bubble is determined by the cultivation of the person trapped and the level of spacetime intent they have. Thus, each of you will face the same difficulty, but the eye of spacetime is a bloodline that is innately gifted, a kind of talent. The elder in the air indifferently said. It was clear that he was extremely displeased by this youth's question. At this moment, Zhao Feng was still immersed in the God-eye dimension. Zhao Feng first copied the elder's every move, using the heaven-engulfing palm with him. It didn't take long for him to grasp a sliver of its essence. Afterward, Zhao Feng stood across from the elder as if he had become the elder's opponent, exchanging blows with him. Although the difference in power between palm techniques was like the difference between the heavens and the earth, Zhao Feng was still able to rapidly comprehend and digest it, improving with every passing moment. Unbeknownst to Zhao Feng, his space intent had reached level 1. Whoosh! Zhao Feng's mind returned to his body. Although he still wanted to continue learning the heaven-engulfing palm, Zhao Feng first needed to break open the spatial bubble and see what was behind the silver door. Perhaps there was an even greater opportunity there. Boom! Bang! Crash! At this moment, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon used an extremely advanced claw technique to break open the spatial bubble. Who is this person? He actually managed to break open the bubble. Quite a few people cried out in alarm. Before him, there had been 4 people who had broken open the spatial bubble, and all of them were members of the Spacetime Sacred Land. But now, a black-scaled man who did not belong to the Spacetime Sacred Land had broken open the spatial bubble. Master is about to make his move. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon was just about to enter the silver door when it paused. It had relied on its superior knowledge and experience to comprehend spacetime combat skills so quickly. It did not believe that Zhao Feng could compare to it in this aspect. Zhao Feng definitely could not break open the spatial bubble. Whoosh! Zhao Feng took in a deep breath, his eyes darkening as he began to exude an invisible intent. Boom! Zhao Feng waved his arms, his palms creating a wondrous spatial ripple. As he thrust his palm forward, the seemingly slow-moving palm fused into the void. A moment later, the palm slammed into the spatial bubble. Buzz! Bzzz. The spatial bubble shuddered, but it did not shatter. Level 1 Space Intent. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon was stunned. It had been at Zhao Feng's side this entire time, so it knew that although Zhao Feng's eyes could use spatial abilities, Zhao Feng's space intent had yet to reach level 1. This person's spacetime combat skills have a bit of an intent. A rank 4 true god of the spacetime sacred land looked at Zhao Feng and nodded. Other than the members of the spacetime sacred land, this was the first time everyone else had encountered a spacetime combat skill. But although Zhao Feng's space intent wasn't very strong, the intent of the technique was there. Bang! After unleashing that palm, Zhao Feng's body moved. A second palm, a third, a seventh palm strike followed. Buzz! Buzz! Bzzz. The spatial bubble shuddered even more violently. Plush! The spatial bubble suddenly shattered. Success! The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's mouth twitched. Zhao Feng had also shattered the spatial bubble. It had lived for countless years and possessed an extremely profound cultivation, but it had managed to shatter the spatial bubble at roughly the same time as Zhao Feng. Chapter 1201. Although the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon was extremely indignant, it had taken note of Zhao Feng's progress. Although Zhao Feng's eyes could use spatial abilities, his body had not comprehended space intent. But just now, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon could clearly sense that the space intent contained in Zhao Feng's palm had reached level 1. The primary purpose of the first round was to test everyone's ability to comprehend spacetime intent. Zhao Feng's space intent had reached level 1 in a single day. Such a large improvement was proof that his comprehension ability was up to standard, so breaking through the spatial bubble was no difficult task. This kid actually succeeded. Zhao Feng's success in breaking through the spatial bubble immediately attracted the attention of everyone present. Other than the members of the Spacetime Sacred Land, only Zhao Feng and the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon had managed to break through the spatial bubble. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon gave off an unfathomable aura. It was highly likely to be an old monster that had lived for many years, but Zhao Feng was only a young quasi-god. Damn, these two scoundrels are so fast. Little Ling unhappily said. However, although she was a rank 4 true god, she was truly not skilled in spacetime intent. The members of the Spacetime Sacred Land glanced at the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon and Zhao Feng before continuing to comprehend their combat skills. In their eyes, the Spacetime Robe was destined to belong to the Spacetime Sacred Land. Bzzzzz. Zhao Feng and the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon passed through the silver door. Behind the door was a vast starry sky, and beneath their feet was a square stone slab tens of thousands of li long and wide. The stone slab was covered in many wondrous patterns and inscriptions. At this moment, 4 members of the Spacetime Sacred Land were seated cross-legged on this stone slab. The 4 glanced at Zhao Feng and Little Ling in surprise. It was clear that they believed that the people following them were either members of the Spacetime Sacred Land or experts of extremely high cultivation. To their surprise, however, it was only a rank 2 true god and a quasi-god. Moreover, they had no impression of Zhao Feng and Little Ling. What a wondrous place. Zhao Feng sensed that the space around him seemed to be flowing with a flow of space Upanishad that he could touch. Master, this place can be said to be the holy land for cultivating spacetime ultimacy. Cultivating spacetime ultimacy will be twice the result with half the effort. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon immediately messaged Zhao Feng. Space ultimacy was a must-cultivate ultimacy, and time ultimacy was one of the ultimate ultimacies, incomparably powerful. However, these two profundities were extremely difficult to comprehend. Therefore, it was easy to imagine how precious this space was. So this is the benefit that the old man mentioned. Those who arrive here first can cultivate here for a longer period of time. Zhao Feng revealed a faint smile. It seemed like it was worth it for him to break the spatial bubble as fast as he could. Zhao Feng and the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon found a place to sit down. However, before Zhao Feng and Li Mu could begin to comprehend the spacetime ultimacy of this place, they heard an ear-piercing noise. In any case, these two will become our enemies in the future. Why don't we get rid of them now? A quasi-god of the Spacetime Sacred Land, a wicked smile on his face, suggested. You think that the two of them can threaten us? Quasi-god Kong Yuan suddenly opened his eyes and coldly said. Zhao Feng and the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon had gloomy expressions. These 4 people were talking about getting rid of them right in front of them, completely disregarding Zhao Feng's group. Quasi-god Kong Yuan was even more arrogant and conceited. It was like he was certain that the spacetime robe would be his. Don't be in such a rush to attack. I'll give you a chance later. At this moment, an elderly voice came from all around them. Everyone present was very familiar with this voice. It belonged to the elder wearing the spacetime robe. If you stay here for 10 days, only 1 day will have passed in the outside world. Cherish this opportunity. The voice spoke once more. If that's the case, I can cultivate here for at least 20 days. Zhao Feng's mind jolted, and he immediately entered a state of cultivation. This was a holy land for cultivating spacetime intent, and the flow of time here was very slow. He had to make good use of it. In addition, he could tell from the first test that the spacetime robe was a test of one's comprehension of spacetime intent. This meant that the next test might also be related to spacetime intent. Thus, Zhao Feng needed to do his utmost to increase his mastery of spacetime intent. This way, he might have a chance of fighting for the spacetime robe. Bzzzzz. After entering a state of cultivation, Zhao Feng activated his god's spiritual eye. At this moment, Zhao Feng's ability to think, react, and comprehend had all been boosted. After a period of time, Zhao Feng sensed that his understanding of level 1 space intent had been completely consolidated, and he seemed to have made some contact with time intent. If I use it with the spacetime combat skill, the heaven engulfing palm, I should be able to comprehend it even faster. With a thought, Zhao Feng entered the God Eye dimension. Whoosh! The scene in the God Eye dimension instantly changed as an elder began to practice the heaven engulfing palm. At this moment, Zhao Feng's understanding of spacetime intent had advanced another level, and as he observed this scene, he gained even more insights. Just like this, Zhao Feng observed the scene for a while before returning to this dimension to comprehend spacetime intent. Switching back and forth between the two was extraordinarily efficient. Gradually, more and more people gathered in this dimension. The moment they arrived, they immediately sat down and began to comprehend spacetime intent. Even if they couldn't obtain the spacetime robe in the end, comprehending spacetime intent here was still a great fortune. In this quiet dimension, spacetime intent flowed like water around the group. Suddenly, a loud and clear voice sounded out, interrupting everyone's comprehension. Time's up. It seems that all of you are quite outstanding. Of the 42, 36 actually made it here. The illusory elder wearing the spacetime robe faintly smiled as he looked at the group. Space intent is almost at level 2, and time intent is about to reach level 1. Zhao Feng sighed. It was a pity that he couldn't continue cultivating in such an excellent cultivation ground. Senior, we've only eliminated so few people in the first round. How many more rounds will there be? The rank 4 true god of the spacetime sacred land asked. The second round will begin. The 38 of you will fight on this stone slab. Those who leave the range of the stone slab will be eliminated. In the end, only 10 will remain. The elder's voice resounded. The second round is actually a battle. Only 10 will remain. The 38 people stood in place, their eyes extremely grim. Only 6 people had been eliminated in the first round, but the second round would eliminate 20. In addition, in this dimension, spacetime intent combat skills will be strengthened. The old man in the sky added with a faint smile. What? There's a rule like this? The hearts of everyone present shook violently. The members of the spacetime sacred land were ecstatic. They came from the spacetime sacred land and were extremely skilled in space intent. With a thought, Zhao Feng messaged Little Ling, everyone, of the 38 people here, 11 are from the spacetime sacred land. Little Ling glared at Zhao Feng and then messaged some of the others. Spacetime combat skills were even more powerful here. There were 11 people from the spacetime sacred land here. The meaning of Little Ling's words was self-evident. If the people outside the spacetime sacred land did not work together, they would all be eliminated. Gradually, a few experts began to gather around Little Ling. Those experts who had not received Little Ling's message naturally understood what was going on when they saw this. The rank 4 true god of the spacetime sacred land frowned. Although the experts of the spacetime sacred land had an enormous advantage here, if the other 25 people worked together, their defeat would be assured. Humph, there should be people from the Yangling zone here. The elder angrily snorted. Quite a few people from the spacetime sacred land instantly froze. Only 3 zones had entered the wild ancient secret dimension, and the ruler of the Yangling zone was the spacetime sacred land. The powerhouses that came here, there were also a few that were from the Yangling region. They did not dare to oppose the spacetime sacred land. Swoosh! Swoosh! 4 figures flew to the side of the spacetime sacred land's experts. The rank 4 true god of the spacetime sacred land gave a slight nod at this sight. The people of the Yangling zone did not dare to offend the spacetime sacred land. The other two zones were very far from the Yangling zone, and the spacetime sacred land could not control them. Although the spacetime sacred land was still outnumbered, all the members of the spacetime sacred land were skilled in spacetime combat skills, so they were stronger than the other side. Fighting for the spacetime sacred land is your honor. The rank 4 true god of the spacetime sacred land bellowed as he led 16 people forward. Go! 21 people on Zhao Feng's side also charged forward. Boom! Bang! Crash! 36 people clashed, and terrifying intent energy flooded the area. Although Zhao Feng's side had the advantage in numbers, it only took a few moments for the spacetime combat skills to suppress it. Heaven engulfing palm. Zhao Feng used his only spacetime combat skill. Boom! An illusory palm of fire pierced through space and rumbled toward the enemy. Although it was a spacetime combat skill, it could still be fused with other intents to increase its power. Everyone present had spent less than 3 days comprehending the combat skill in their spatial bubble, but Zhao Feng had absorbed it into his mind. As he comprehended spacetime intent, he was also constantly cultivating this palm technique. At this moment, Zhao Feng could already use the heaven engulfing palm with great familiarity and even use some of its power. Break! A rank 3 true god of the spacetime sacred land shattered Zhao Feng's palm energy. Again. Zhao Feng continued to use the heaven engulfing palm. Previously, he had only been comprehending it in his mind, but now that he was using it in battle, Zhao Feng gained many new insights. Boom boom boom. One palm of golden fire after another pierced through space and shot toward his foe. Child's play. The rank 3 true god disdainfully laughed. As a rank 3 true god of the spacetime sacred land, Zhao Feng's heaven engulfing palm might be strong, but it wasn't enough to enter his eyes. However, he had no idea that the skill Zhao Feng was using was something he had only recently learned. Boom! Boom! At a certain moment, the enormous palm of golden fire that Zhao Feng had unleashed fused with the void and appeared in front of the rank 3 true god. Level 2 space intent. He was suppressing his intent energy just now. The rank 3 true god was taken aback. Level 2 space intent. The black destruction serpent dragon's expression froze not far from Zhao Feng. One had to realize that even though the black destruction serpent dragon had been cultivating here for so long, it was still a very long time from reaching level 3 space intent. But Zhao Feng, a beginner, had reached level 2 space intent in just a few weeks. Just what sort of monster was this? Chapter 1202. To everyone else, Zhao Feng was just an ordinary quasi-god. But at this moment, Zhao Feng was using level 2 space intent and a profound spatial technique. Because spacetime techniques were buffed, Zhao Feng's current fighting power was equivalent to that of a powerful rank 3 true god. So strong. Which faction's genius is this? His space intent has actually reached level 2. The teammates fighting alongside Zhao Feng said in shock. Quasi-god Kong Yuan was the strongest quasi-god prodigy of the spacetime sacred land, but before entering the wild ancient secret dimension, he had only been at level 3 space intent. Later on, a few lucky chances allowed him to comprehend space intent near the transparent palace, allowing him to break through to level 4. A few of the quasi-god geniuses of the spacetime sacred land saw that Zhao Feng's space intent was so profound that they intentionally targeted Zhao Feng. But when they attacked Zhao Feng, they realized that Zhao Feng had 2 experts protecting him. One was a black-scaled dragon-armored man with powerful space intent and a terrifying destruction intent. The other was a beautiful woman with a beautiful face. She had a profound cultivation and powerful fire intent. Boom! Bang! Earth incinerating flame. Heavenly God tyrant fist. The two sides were like fire and water. Many of the experts on Zhao Feng's side did not use any spacetime techniques. But none of those who had reached this stage were ordinary individuals. They all had their own areas of expertise. Meanwhile, Zhao Feng was still using the heaven-engulfing palm over and over again. Although this place had become a battlefield, it was still a holy land for cultivating spacetime intent. Zhao Feng could be said to be fighting, but it was more like he was cultivating the heaven-engulfing palm and comprehending spacetime intent. Boom! Bang! Crash! The battle between the 36 was extremely chaotic and bitter, and the weaker ones were quickly eliminated. At this moment, the spacetime sacred land side had 12 people while Zhao Feng's side had 16. 18 more to be eliminated. Zhao Feng's eyes were constantly focused on the battlefield. The battle continued. In the end, those who were left were mostly experts with rich experience and ruthless gazes. It was simply too difficult to continue eliminating people from this batch. Perhaps, in the end, the experts on Zhao Feng's side, who had temporarily joined forces, would attack their own people in order to eliminate more people and advance to the next round. Fortunately, Zhao Feng had two helpers, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon and Little Ling. As long as he was careful, he shouldn't be eliminated. Gradually, the battle became less intense. Many of them began to accumulate their strength in secret, recovering from their consumption and injuries. The Spacetime Sacred Lands team is too strong. It's too difficult to eliminate any more people. A rank 4 true god on Zhao Feng's side said. Now, there were only 22 people left on the stone slab. None of them were kind. We should work together and attack one person at the same time. That way, we can quickly reduce the number of people to 10. Zhao Feng suggested. That's right, then let's attack that quasi-god first. Zhao Feng's team began to discuss countermeasures. Whoosh whoosh suddenly, all the experts on Zhao Feng's side charged forward, targeting one of the quasi-gods of the spacetime sacred land. Heaven engulfing palm. Swimming dragon sword. Heavenly chasm sacred dragon wave. An overwhelming barrage of attacks crashed toward a single person. Save me. The quasi-god instantly began to tremble in fear. Damn! The members of the spacetime sacred land hadn't expected such a move. They wanted to help the quasi-god block the attacks, but it was too late. Boom! Bang! Crash! The quasi-god was killed, and their team lost another person. Kill! The spacetime sacred lands team immediately counterattacked. Attack that green-clothed middle-aged man. Zhao Feng's team reached a consensus and once more attacked a person from the spacetime sacred land. Boom! Bang! Crash! After a fierce battle, the battle reached a stalemate. The spacetime sacred land only had 7 people left while Zhao Feng's side had 10. The two sides faced off on the stone slab, temporarily not attacking. With a thought, Zhao Feng entered the God-eye dimension. After observing the heaven-engulfing palm for a few moments, his mind returned to his body to comprehend spacetime intent. Time intent. Zhao Feng felt like he had touched upon something, but he also didn't seem to understand it. At this moment, Zhao Feng's time intent was only one step away from piercing through that final veil. I'll give you one more incense stick's worth of time. When the time comes, I'll choose the top 10 based on the number of people killed. The elder wearing the spacetime robe in the sky suddenly said with a smile. The elder's words caused the 17 people who were recuperating to tremble. Why didn't you say so earlier? Someone grumbled. In order to kill a quasi-god or true god, it basically required a few people to work together. No one paid any attention to who happened to kill their opponent. Some of the stronger people didn't even kill that many people, while the weaker ones were lucky enough to land the final blow. Whoosh! The 20 people on the stone slab immediately stood up. No one knew just how many people they had killed, but if they wanted to advance, they needed to kill as many people as possible. Boom! Bang! Crash! Everyone was forced to fight once more. There was only one incense stick's worth of time. If there were more than 10 people left, the top 10 would be decided based on the number of people killed. I'm not fighting anymore. A rank 3 true god left the area around the stone slab, his body vanishing from this dimension. This rank 3 true god was very strong, but he did not believe that he could obtain the spacetime robe. Remaining here was far too dangerous, so he gave up on the spacetime robe. Die. Some of them immediately used their trump cards. Boom. Bang. Crash. The remaining people on the spacetime sacred land side were all experts of the spacetime sacred land, and their terrifying spacetime combat skills were unstoppable. The rank 4 true god and quasi-god Kong Yuan of the spacetime sacred land were the strongest. Heaven engulfing palm. Zhao Feng was still cultivating this palm technique. This person's palm technique contains a sliver of time intent. The experts of the spacetime sacred land noticed Zhao Feng's attack. Level 2 space intent, close to level 1 time intent. Quasi-god Kong Yuan's eyes locked onto Zhao Feng. At this moment, quasi-god Kong Yuan was somewhat envious of Zhao Feng. Even without the eye of spacetime, he had reached level 2 space intent and was on the verge of forming time intent. Although quasi-god Kong Yuan's space intent was at level 4, his time intent was only at level 1. Kill this person. Quasi-god Kong Yuan messaged all the members of the spacetime sacred land. Okay, kill him. The rank 4 true god of the spacetime sacred land nodded. Logically speaking, with Zhao Feng being guarded by 2 experts, their decision to act unwisely might allow their opponent to grasp an opening and launch a counterattack. But they had all seen Zhao Feng's talent. Even someone as talented as quasi-god Kong Yuan was somewhat envious of Zhao Feng, let alone the other members of the spacetime sacred land. Kill. Suddenly, all the experts of the spacetime sacred land shot toward Zhao Feng. Spatial shattering slash. Netherworld spatial lock. A vast array of spacetime combat skills shot toward Zhao Feng. Not good. Little Black, hurry and use your origin energy of destruction. Zhao Feng grimaced. He had never imagined that he would become the target of all the members of the spacetime sacred land. Buzz. Bzzz. The black destruction serpent dragon's body suddenly began to exude an ancient destruction energy. Countless black flames and divine light madly surged forward. Swoosh swoosh. Little Ling hurriedly unleashed a net of flames that swept forward. But spacetime combat skills were far too powerful, and they instantly destroyed Little Ling's attack. Plush. Little Ling was struck by the shock waves of the attack and retreated several steps, vomiting blood. Boom. Bang. Crash. The remaining power of the combat skills slammed into the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's body. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon maintained its human form, its body seething with divine black flames. Its body was battered and tattered, but it immediately healed. However, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon had consumed an enormous amount of origin energy of destruction. How could this be? Origin energy of destruction and an indestructible body. Just what race is this person? The experts of the spacetime sacred land were flabbergasted. However, they could only sense the terrifying bloodline energy of the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon, but they could not guess what race it was. Kill. The experts on Zhao Feng's side completely ignored Zhao Feng and used this chance to attack their opponent. Spacetime Slicer. Quasi-god Kong Yuan used his eye of spacetime to gather energy and create a silver blade that cut through the air. Buzz. Bzzz. The terrifying space intent and the ultimate time intent caused the hearts of the nearby experts to madly jump. Swish. This silver blade that cut through the heavens fused into the air, and a moment later, it appeared in front of the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon. Zhao Feng and the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon felt like their thoughts and movements were slowing down. Everything around them was slowing down except for the fatal attack in front of them. Master, you owe me a great deal of resources. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon continued to use its origin energy of destruction, its claws wreathed in black flames as it attacked. Swoosh! After blocking for a few moments, the silver blade cut it in two. The silver blade continued to cut at Zhao Feng. Cling clang. Zhao Feng raised the shield-shaped ancient god seal and poured large amounts of lightning fire obliteration into it to block. Time intent. Zhao Feng fused his intent energy into the lightning fire obliteration and spread it out. In a flash, the time intent of quasi-god Kong Yuan's attack was neutralized by Zhao Feng, and the remaining power of the attack was also blocked by Zhao Feng's ancient god seal. Level 1 time intent. Quasi-god Kong Yuan's heart trembled. In this moment of crisis, Zhao Feng had managed to break into level 1 time intent. Kill. 3 experts of the spacetime sacred land charged at Zhao Feng. All of you deserve to die. Zhao Feng's expression was cold as his left eye surged with astonishing eye intent. Spacetime slicer. Swish. Zhao Feng's left eye suddenly unleashed a silver blade that blotted out the sky. The profound space intent made the hairs on the 3 experts stand on end. Level 4 space intent, and it's a combat skill of my eye of spacetime. Quasi-god Kong Yuan was so stunned that he was frozen to the spot. He had spent some time accumulating power for this attack, but Zhao Feng had unleashed an attack of the same power without any warning. Swoosh! The silver blade, which looked like a huge wing, appeared in front of the 3 and sliced them in half. The silver blade continued to fly backward. An injured true god was too late to react and was obliterated by this attack. It was the same spacetime combat skill as quasi-god Kong Yuan's, but Zhao Feng's attack had killed 4 people. That golden eye, could it be? Quasi-god Kong Yuan stared straight at Zhao Feng, his gaze falling on that deep and dazzling golden eye, and he seemed to think of something. Chapter 1203. That golden eye, could it be? Quasi-god Kong Yuan stared straight at Zhao Feng, his gaze falling upon that deep and resplendent golden eye. He seemed to think of something. Although he had long ago noticed that Zhao Feng had golden hair and golden eyes, the ancient desolate realm of gods had many races, and there were people with all kinds of skin, hair, and eye colors. For this reason, quasi-god Kong Yuan had never imagined that the golden eye of heaven that he had fought with was actually Zhao Feng's. After all, in his eyes, Zhao Feng was far too weak and insignificant. It was only when Zhao Feng's left eye displayed its absurd abilities that quasi-god Kong Yuan began to suspect that Zhao Feng was the master of that golden eye of heaven, the person who had used the eye of heaven to defeat him. He killed 4 people in an instant. A rank 4 true god's heart madly thumped. He had originally been in the same team as Zhao Feng, but when the experts of the spacetime sacred land surrounded Zhao Feng, he did not choose to assist Zhao Feng, choosing to attack the spacetime sacred land members instead. To his surprise, Zhao Feng managed to emerge unscathed from the encirclement of the spacetime sacred land and even managed to kill several members of the spacetime sacred land. Whoosh! On the stone floor, the 2 halves of the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon began to stick back together and slowly repair themselves. However, its aura was extremely weak at this time and it was incapable of fighting. Just what sort of bloodline is this? The experts of the spacetime sacred land blurted out in shock. 3 experts of the spacetime sacred land had been completely killed by the spacetime slicer, but the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon was still alive and well after being cut in 2. Okay, there are just 10 people left. All of you have advanced. The transparent elder in the air said with a smile. Everyone scanned the area and saw that there were indeed only 10 people left. 4 of them were from the spacetime sacred land while the other 6 were definitely experts from the Tianyun zone and Gulong zone. All of you stay here and rest for a while. No one is allowed to fight. With these words, the elder wearing the space-time robe vanished. Little brother, your technique just now was truly shocking. A middle-aged man with brown hair came to Zhao Feng's side. Zhao Feng's performance was simply too shocking. Adding on the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's special body and Little Ling's rank for true god cultivation, Zhao Feng's group of 3 became a force that could not be ignored. Senior, you flatter me. Zhao Feng said politely. The god eye duplication ability truly was powerful, but no one present understood what it was. This was also why this person had come to curry favor with Zhao Feng. After the second test ended, the remaining 10 people temporarily rested here and recovered from their injuries. No one knew what they would face in the next round. The only thing they could do was to maintain their best condition. If there's any danger in the next round, just give up. Zhao Feng said to the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon had expended a large amount of its origin energy of destruction and was extremely weak. Its cultivation was regressing and would not be able to recover in a short amount of time. Fortunately, even without the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's help, Zhao Feng still had Little Ling, a rank 4 true god, at his side. After taking a few healing resources, Zhao Feng began to comprehend space-time intent. Zhao Feng was confident that no matter what the next test was, space-time intent would give him some sort of bonus. Several days later, everyone had basically recovered from their injuries, but the transparent elder still did not appear. After another 10 days, some people began to get impatient. That old fellow couldn't have forgotten about us, right? Many people were starting to get irritated. But Zhao Feng continued to sit in his original position, not moving. In Zhao Feng's view, being able to comprehend space-time intent here before the third test was a very good thing. Zhao Feng had comprehended level 2 space intent and level 1 time intent because he had come here. Swish. When Zhao Feng entered the God Eye dimension, a white-haired elder continued to practice the heaven engulfing palm. I can already fuse space-time intent into my palm technique. Zhao Feng said with a joyful expression. Only the heaven engulfing palm with space-time intent was the true heaven engulfing palm. This palm could ignore space, and wherever the palm covered, time would slow down. The enemy could not dodge even if they wanted to and could only be crushed. At this moment, Zhao Feng's body sensed something strange and his mind returned to his body. Boom boom boom. The stone slab they were on began to fiercely shake. Countless stones of various sizes began to float out of the center of the slab and fly upward. Retreat. Everyone immediately retreated to the edge. Boom. Countless white stones floated in front of them. Broom. All the stones began to condense, instantly forming a massive mountain more than 1,000 feet tall. This white mountain was completely made of stone, and there were stairs in every direction leading to the summit. Swish. At the summit, the transparent elder appeared once more. The first to reach the summit will be the victor. At this moment, the translucent old man's body suddenly blossomed with a layer of deep silver light. The final test. Many people were rather surprised. The first to reach the summit will obtain the space-time robe. A middle-aged man excitedly said. The final test was completely different from what he had imagined. Perhaps he would also have a chance to obtain the space-time robe. Just what sort of mysteries does this mountain hold? An elder suspiciously stepped onto one of the stairs. The moment he stepped onto the stairs, the elder understood that one could only climb to the summit step by step. Flying was not an option. Besides that, he also sensed a sudden gravitational force. The various factions of the ancient desolate realm of gods all had their own trials and tests, and the gravitational test was one of the most common. This kind of test was usually related to strength and willpower. That's all. Zhao Feng also stepped onto the first step and felt the pressure of the gravitational force. But Zhao Feng did not believe that the final test was purely a test of gravity. The space-time robe is mine. When a body tempering expert saw that this test was gravity, he was incredibly excited. He quickly climbed up the stairs and sprinted forward. This body-refining expert sensed that something was wrong. Turning his head, he saw that the stairs under his feet were actually moving backward. What's going on? The body-refining expert was stunned. As he continued to advance, the stairs under his feet were constantly moving backward. This meant that he could only advance faster than the speed at which the stairs were moving backward. But every time he moved a certain distance, the gravity on the steps would increase. It was too difficult to do this. Isn't it just a test of strength and willpower? This body-refining expert did not give up. His body exuded astonishing physical strength as he charged forward against the gravitational force. Go! We can't fall behind. The others all stepped onto their own stairs and madly charged forward while resisting the gravitational force. Thump! Zhao Feng also stepped onto the stairs, moving forward 10 steps. The gravity really is increasing. Zhao Feng muttered. At the same time, the stairs were moving backward. If Zhao Feng did not continue forward, he would end up back at the starting point. But even if Zhao Feng continued forward, he would not be able to reach the end. Thus, Zhao Feng stood motionless, waiting for the stairs to move backward and send him back to the starting point. Little Black, what do you think? Zhao Feng asked. The final test didn't seem to be that simple. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon was experienced and knowledgeable, so it might be able to find a breakthrough point. The gravity on each path should be determined by one's cultivation. For this reason, quasi-gods and true gods with higher cultivation levels have the advantage. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon slowly said, its expression grim. This was what it had observed from the reactions of the others. So I have an advantage over the others. Zhao Feng had a pensive look on his face. But if it really was as the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon said, quasi-god Kong Yuan was only a demigod, but he had the strength of a rank 4 true god. If the first round was a test of our comprehension of spacetime combat skills, then the second round was a test of our fighting ability. The third round is probably a test of our potential. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's eyes were extremely profound. Potential? Zhao Feng took in a deep breath. Who could say for sure about something like potential? Although the various factions placed a lot of emphasis on potential when choosing geniuses, most people believed that potential referred to bloodline and talent, which was not the case. At least in Zhao Feng's view, a person's personality was also a part of their potential. This path must be completed in one go. If we stop to rest, we will return to the starting point. Zhao Feng said at this moment. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's eyes flashed. After careful consideration, Zhao Feng's words were indeed correct. The fact that Zhao Feng was able to analyze this point so quickly was also a sign of potential. Halfway up the mountain, the body-tempering expert could no longer resist the pressure of the gravity and instantly deflated. Whoosh whoosh. The steps rapidly retreated, and the body-tempering expert was quickly returned to the starting point. Quite a few people were still persisting on the other steps, continuing to climb up, but the steps were constantly retreating. They weren't making much progress. Thump. Zhao Feng sat on the ground and closed his eyes. Master, what are you doing? A look of surprise appeared in the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's eyes. It was heavily injured and out of shape, so it had no hope of fighting for the spacetime robe. So why was Zhao Feng doing this? There's nothing I can do for now. I'll just cultivate and think at the same time. Zhao Feng replied. Although there was an additional mountain here, this place was still a holy land for cultivating spacetime intent. On the summit, the translucent elder shook his head as he watched the people climbing. Those with great talent and strength can directly come here. Those without great talent and strength, unwilling to admit their incompetence, unable to think about how to resolve their problems, unable to tolerate failure, and blindly charging forward, will never amount to anything in the future. I can use time intent. Quasi-God Kong Yuan realized that he could use the power of time to slow down the speed at which he was retreating. This way, he could save a lot of energy and increase his speed. The other members of the Spacetime Sacred Land saw this and immediately understood. However, of the 4 members of the Spacetime Sacred Land, only one other person besides Quasi-God Kong Yuan had reached level 1 time intent. As expected, Spacetime Intent also has its benefits in this trial. The rank 4 true god of the Spacetime Sacred Land faintly smiled as he used time intent to slow down the speed of the steps. Damn, this isn't fair. Someone grumbled, but there was nothing they could do. Quasi-God Kong Yuan saw that he was ahead of everyone else and gave a smug smile. The Spacetime robe would definitely be his. Quasi-God Kong Yuan then turned to Zhao Feng at the base of the mountain, his smile even brighter. I originally planned to defeat you in a direct confrontation, but I didn't think that you would concede. Quasi-God Kong Yuan looked down on Zhao Feng with a disdainful smile. Chapter 1204. As long as no one reached the summit, this test would not end unless everyone admitted defeat and left the stone slab. Zhao Feng was seated cross-legged at the base of the mountain. On the surface, he appeared to be cultivating and comprehending spacetime intent, but in reality, he had split off a small part of his mind to observe everyone else climbing the mountain. With the power of the god's spiritual eye, Zhao Feng could see how far he could go from the performance of these people. At this moment, Quasi-God Kong Yuan was far ahead of everyone else. He was extremely strong and had many tricks up his sleeve, so resisting the gravity was no problem for him. Moreover, he was using time intent to slow down the speed of the stone slab's descent, making him an existence that everyone could only look up to. The person in second place was the rank 4 true god of the Spacetime Sacred Land. The next was a rank 3 true god. His cultivation level was rather low, but he was very talented. After that was the body refinement expert. He relied on his powerful physique and indomitable will to climb upwards. Of course, their positions were constantly fluctuating. Compared to these people, Little Ling might be a rank 4 true god, but she was not particularly outstanding. High cultivation doesn't mean you have an advantage. What's important is strength, techniques, personality, and other factors. Zhao Feng observed the crowd as he summarized his experiences. Of these people, Quasi-God Kong Yuan is the strongest and most talented. He has the highest chance of reaching the summit. Zhao Feng focused his attention on Quasi-God Kong Yuan. Quasi-God Kong Yuan and Zhao Feng both had level 1 time intent, but Zhao Feng's usage of time intent was inferior to his. At this moment, Quasi-God Kong Yuan was focused on using time intent to slow down the speed of the step's descent. Zhao Feng naturally wanted to observe and learn. If I can control time intent like Quasi-God Kong Yuan and slow down the speed of the step's descent, I might be able to surpass the rest of them. As Zhao Feng studied, he made his estimations. Something's not right. Zhao Feng suddenly opened his eyes and stared at Quasi-God Kong Yuan. After a long while, Zhao Feng's expression relaxed. So that's what's going on. The steps are falling back because of a spacetime ability, and Quasi-God Kong Yuan is using time intent to cancel out a portion of the spacetime intent in the steps, slowing down the speed. Zhao Feng's eyes lit up. Because the profound mysteries of spacetime were very obvious in the surroundings, it covered up the spacetime divine art in the stairs. Not even Quasi-God Kong Yuan had noticed this. He definitely believed that it was the unique trait of time intent that slowed down the steps. If Quasi-God Kong Yuan had realized this, he would have used his level 4 space intent and level 1 time intent to counteract the intent energy of the stairs and reach the top with little difficulty. However, the onlookers see more clearly than those involved in the game. Quasi-God Kong Yuan was a proud man who only cared about reaching the peak, so he had never thought about this. As expected, the key point of this round is still the spacetime ultimacy. Zhao Feng sorted out his thoughts. Using the spacetime profundity to counteract the spacetime profundity in the stairs, he could slow down the speed of the stairs. Of course, he could also use other profound meanings, but the effect would definitely not be as good as the spacetime profound, because the spacetime profound would be enhanced in this space, making it even more powerful. My space ultimacy is only at the second level, and my time ultimacy is only at the first level. It will still be difficult for me to reach the top. Zhao Feng's brow slightly creased. Once Zhao Feng used this method, he wouldn't be able to instantly reach the top. Everyone present would know of this method, including quasi-god Kong Yuan. When the time came, quasi-god Kong Yuan was very likely to use this method to reach the top. But if I don't act quickly, quasi-god Kong Yuan will think of this method sooner or later. Zhao Feng's eyes dimmed. Quasi-god Kong Yuan was no fool, but he was far too proud. Suddenly, a sharp light flashed through Zhao Feng's eyes. Swish! Many cultivation resources appeared in front of Zhao Feng, a golden god crystal, a giant horn of golden flames. Zhao Feng began to cultivate the 5-elemental wind lightning technique. Master is cultivating here. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon was instantly rendered speechless. It was even beginning to suspect that Zhao Feng had given up on the spacetime robe. That's a golden god crystal, a golden horn from a golden horned fire rat, and a golden sun blood flame flower. Quite a few experts climbing the mountain saw the cultivation treasures floating in front of Zhao Feng and instantly became greedy. Not good. An expert was suddenly distracted at a crucial moment and was pushed down by the weight of the mountain. Thump thump. After retreating several dozen steps, this expert finally managed to stabilize himself. He wasn't the only person on the White Mountain to be distracted. Everyone else had been affected by the treasures Zhao Feng had suddenly taken out, including quasi-god Kong Yuan. Once I get the spacetime robe, it will be your death. Quasi-god Kong Yuan coldly said. In the battle for the Eye of Space Transference, quasi-god Kong Yuan had lost to Zhao Feng. When he learned of Zhao Feng's true identity, his heart of martial arts had been dealt a heavy blow. Quasi-god Kong Yuan would not permit himself to be defeated by such a weak ant, so he had to personally kill Zhao Feng to untie this knot. It seems like the spacetime robe will be taken by quasi-god Kong Yuan. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon sorrowfully sighed as it continued to recover from its injuries. Time slowly passed, but the trial was still ongoing. At a certain moment, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon suddenly sensed a majestic and profound energy surge out from its side. Master's technique has broken through. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's expression froze. But a small breakthrough in the technique shouldn't have changed much. Whoosh! Zhao Feng stood up, the corners of his lips curling into a smile. By using time intent on my body, I can speed up my cultivation. Zhao Feng could sense the strength of time intent. Just now, he had used up a large number of metal Dao cultivation resources to push the 5-elemental wind lightning technique to the 11th level. 5 elements become 1. After all, Zhao Feng had already been able to convert the 5 elements, so breaking through wasn't a difficult task. Thump thump. Zhao Feng stepped onto the steps. Master is about to move. Although the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon didn't believe that Zhao Feng could defeat quasi-god Kong Yuan, it still felt a sliver of hope. I thought that brat wouldn't dare to come up. An expert of the spacetime sacred land couldn't help but smile. You overestimate yourself. Quasi-god Kong Yuan coldly said. Thump. 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 Zhao Feng continued to take several dozen steps, and only then was he somewhat suppressed by the invisible gravity. Gravity, I also have it. A gravity energy surged out of Zhao Feng's body to resist the gravity of the steps. Thump thump. Zhao Feng's speed was like the wind as he flew up the stairs. After taking 100 steps, Zhao Feng began to slow down. Charge. Zhao Feng bellowed, his body suddenly growing taller. Swish! 5-colored lightning condensed into dazzling patterns that covered Zhao Feng's entire body. At this moment, Zhao Feng was like a 5-colored mountain of lightning, his physical body shaking the heavens. Thump! Zhao Feng increased his speed, circulating his 5 elements divine power as he pressed forward. There were 8 people climbing the mountain, and now, one of them had been overtaken by Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng quickly overtook the second person. This person's strength and body are so strong. The expert that had been overtaken by Zhao Feng sighed. Thump! 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 When Zhao Feng overtook the third person, he finally began to slow down. So strong. Little Ling stared at Zhao Feng and spat out these 2 words. Brat, this will be your final stop. The expert of the spacetime sacred land, who was in 4th place, angrily roared. Is that so? Zhao Feng couldn't help but smile. Space intent, time intent. Zhao Feng circulated these 2 intents and sent them rumbling down the steps. The steps beneath Zhao Feng's feet immediately began to slow down. Charge! Zhao Feng's 5 elements divine power once more surged forward, overtaking Little Ling. Thump thump thump. Zhao Feng was getting closer and closer to the spacetime sacred land expert who had jeered at him. Impossible! You can't surpass me. The spacetime sacred land expert was frozen to the spot, a look of panic on his face. But by the time he said this, Zhao Feng had already surpassed him. Zhao Feng was now the 4th highest person on the mountain. Thump thump thump. After using spacetime intent, Zhao Feng's speed wasn't very fast, but he never stopped. Another expert was overtaken by him. The only people above Zhao Feng now were quasi-god Kong Yuan of the spacetime sacred land and a rank 4 true god. I understand now. Quasi-god Kong Yuan had a very deep understanding of spacetime intent. He instantly understood how Zhao Feng used spacetime intent. Buzz. Bzzz. Quasi-god Kong Yuan immediately used spacetime intent to suppress the steps, causing them to slow down. So that's how it is. The other rank 4 true god also understood. Thump thump thump. Quasi-god Kong Yuan's pace instantly quickened. Your space intent is only level 2. It's impossible for you to surpass me. The spacetime robe is mine. Quasi-god Kong Yuan imitated Zhao Feng's method and quickly approached the peak. But a moment later, Quasi-god Kong Yuan sensed the enormous ripples of intent energy coming from Zhao Feng. This is so many intents. Quasi-god Kong Yuan's face was filled with shock. Up until now, Zhao Feng had only used spacetime intent, so he believed that Zhao Feng only knew spacetime intent. But now, the number of intents revolving around Zhao Feng made quasi-god Kong Yuan almost forget to continue climbing. I can sense at least 7 or 8 intents on his body. How could this be? Quite a few people behind Zhao Feng called out in alarm. Low-rank true gods found it very difficult to comprehend many intents. Only ancient gods with high cultivation levels could comprehend intents much more easily, and it was very normal for them to have many intents. Zhao Feng faintly smiled and said nothing as he continued to climb. Now that the 5 elemental wind lightning technique had reached the 11th level, 5 elements become 1, Zhao Feng's 5 elements intent and wind lightning intent had been successfully formed. Although he had only just reached level 1 in each intent, the 5 elements intent and wind lightning intent made it 7 intents. If he added in spacetime intent, he would have 9 intents. The steps beneath Zhao Feng's feet began to slowly recede at a snail's pace. As for Zhao Feng, step by step, he quickly surpassed the rank 4 true god of the spacetime sacred land and approached quasi-god Kong Yuan. He's only a demigod, but he already has 9 intents. The transparent elder on the top of the mountain revealed a shocked expression. No, I can't lose. Quasi-god Kong Yuan roared as he pushed all his techniques to the limit and charged toward the peak. He would not permit himself to lose to Zhao Feng again. I'm stronger than you, and my space intent has reached level 4. I climbed the mountain before you, so I'll definitely be the first to reach the peak. Quasi-god Kong Yuan inwardly roared. At this moment, everyone was looking up at the summit. Quasi-god Kong Yuan was getting closer and closer to the peak, but Zhao Feng would quickly catch up. Who would win in the end? Humph, God Sealing Stone. With a flip of Zhao Feng's palm, a God Sealing Stone the size of half a man appeared in Zhao Feng's hand. The sealing power instantly dispersed, the gravity weakened, and the steps stopped moving back. Chapter 1205. At this moment, the steps beneath Zhao Feng's feet stopped moving back, and the enormous gravitational pressure on Zhao Feng's body was greatly reduced. No, how could this be? Quasi-god Kong Yuan's face was filled with shock, his eyes so wide that they seemed like they would pop out of their sockets. The steps under that brat's feet stopped moving. What sort of treasure is that in his hand? Everyone immediately turned to Zhao Feng. Originally, the outcome of the battle between Zhao Feng and Quasi-god Kong Yuan had been undecided. But now, a massive white stone suddenly appeared in Zhao Feng's hand, exuding a sealing energy that could suppress everything. The steps stopped moving back and the gravitational pressure weakened. That's the God Sealing Stone. The rank 4 true god of the spacetime sacred land stared at the white stone in Zhao Feng's hand. Although the stone in Zhao Feng's hand had an ordinary appearance and had not been polished, the energy contained within it was identical to the legendary God Sealing Stone. Could this person be a descendant of the God Sealing race? The rank 4 true god was stunned. They had even tried to obliterate Zhao Feng a moment ago. If Zhao Feng really was a descendant of the God Sealing race, that would be disastrous. I forgot that Master still has the God Sealing Stone. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon grinned. Thump. 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 Zhao Feng's steps were light as he slowly climbed up the steps. At this moment, everyone forgot to advance. Their eyes were focused on Zhao Feng's body, watching him ascend step by step. This was because everyone knew that Zhao Feng was the victor. Quasi-god Kong Yuan was frozen to the spot. Zhao Feng's every step seemed to trample on his heart and humiliate him. Not bad. On the summit, the transparent elder looked at Zhao Feng and warmly smiled. He had been paying attention to Zhao Feng ever since the first trial began because Zhao Feng's ability to comprehend spacetime intent was rather impressive. But now, the old man finally understood that Zhao Feng wasn't just talented in the spacetime Upanishad. His comprehension of other Upanishads was also extraordinary. Up until now, Zhao Feng had displayed 5 elements profound, wind lightning profound, and spacetime profound. For a quasi-god to comprehend 9 profound meanings was unheard of. Thud. Under everyone's gaze, Zhao Feng climbed to the top of the mountain. Rumble. Suddenly, the entire white mountain peak shattered into pieces and disappeared into thin air. Lost to him. Even now, quasi-god Kong Yuan was still unwilling to admit to this. In the struggle for a spacetime treasure, as a quasi-god prodigy of the spacetime sacred land, he had actually lost. Quasi-god Kong Yuan, don't be discouraged. This person used a God Sealing Stone just now. Perhaps he's a descendant of the God Sealing race. The rank 4 true god of the spacetime sacred land messaged quasi-god Kong Yuan. Is that so? Quasi-god Kong Yuan was skeptical. If Zhao Feng really was a descendant of the God Sealing race, then his loss wasn't unjust. The God Sealing race was ranked 14th among the 10,000 ancient races. Many of the demons of the ancient desolate realm of gods were suppressed by the God Sealing race. The territory of the God Sealing race was also a sacred land of the God Sealing sacred land. Swish. As the mountain vanished, everyone except Zhao Feng was teleported away. The space-time robes test had come to an end. Senior, can you keep these two people here? Zhao Feng saw that Little Ling and the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon had vanished and immediately asked. Swish. With a wave of his hand, Zhao Feng produced a portrait of the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon and Little Ling. Okay, I'll help you. The transparent elder nodded. A moment later, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon and Little Ling reappeared in this dimension. What's going on outside? Zhao Feng straightforwardly asked. We just got out when we were questioned by the experts of the spacetime sacred land. There were countless casualties outside, and the battle between the rank 5 true gods and the ancient gods is already over. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon said with lingering fear. Fortunately, they had returned, or else who knew what the spacetime sacred land would do to them. The battle between the rank 5 true gods and the ancient gods is over. What about the other treasures? Zhao Feng continued to ask. Only that ball of violet flame and the silver sword are left. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon replied. Of the 4 supreme treasures, the spacetime robe had been obtained by Zhao Feng while the Heaven Yuan stone plate had been obtained by quasi-god Si Kong of the Tianyun sacred land. The battle outside had resulted in grievous casualties, and quite a few experts had left after obtaining some benefits. Okay, you've obtained the spacetime robe. Hurry and refine it. The transparent elder suddenly said. Buzz. Bzzz. The elder's figure gradually faded, but the spacetime robe draped over his body grew brighter and brighter, the patterns on it dazzling and unfathomable. In the end, the elder's figure completely vanished, and the light on the robe dimmed as it quietly floated in the air. Zhao Feng touched the spacetime robe. Refine the spacetime robe and you may leave this place. A thought entered Zhao Feng's mind. Zhao Feng, is our cooperation over? Little Ling spoke of her own volition. Little Ling's attitude was completely different from when she first joined Zhao Feng's team. It's over, but there's no need for you to be in such a rush to leave. The people of the spacetime sacred land are waiting for you outside. Zhao Feng straightforwardly said. You should return the phoenix-tailed bird tail feathers you took away. Little Ling saw that Zhao Feng had apparently forgotten about this matter and asked for them. Zhao Feng's expression froze, and then he took out the 3 exhausted tail feathers. What? You? Xiaoling's expression changed, and her eyes widened as if they were about to spit fire. However, the phoenix-tailed bird race patriarch had only asked her to return the tail feathers, not anything else. Moreover, even though the phoenix tail's energy had been used up, the intent inscriptions in the tail were still there, allowing the members of her race to comprehend the intent energy within. Little Ling rolled her eyes at Zhao Feng and put away the tail feathers. The people of the spacetime sacred land won't be leaving for a while. You should cultivate here for now. The flow of time here is 10 times slower than the outside world, and it's extremely easy to comprehend spacetime intent. This is also a great fortune for you. Zhao Feng said. Cultivating for 10 times the time was truly not bad. If Little Ling broke into rank 5 true god, she would become the youngest rank 5 true god of the phoenix-tailed bird race and enjoy an esteemed status. There would come a day when she would become a rank 6 true god or an ancient god. At that time, Little Ling would leave behind her tail feathers and go to an even vaster place. Recover your cultivation as quickly as possible. Zhao Feng threw an interspatial dimension to the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon had expended so much origin destruction energy that its cultivation had dropped, making it useless. Yes, Master. A hint of joy appeared on the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's face. After following Zhao Feng for so long, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's personality had undergone a major transformation. In the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's view, Zhao Feng's future accomplishments were certain to surpass its peak, perhaps even surpass that of an ancient god. Once Zhao Feng's 9th god eye was completely awakened, his accomplishments would be immeasurable, and the entire divine realm would probably be shaken. Becoming the mount of such a supreme power was no disgrace at all. Whoosh! Zhao Feng floated to a mountain in the void and sat cross-legged in the air. The space-time robe. Every time he saw this treasure, Zhao Feng couldn't help but get excited. I wonder what level of divine artifact the space-time robe is. Zhao Feng sighed. Up until now, almost all the divine artifacts Zhao Feng had encountered had been low-quality divine rank. Of course, the treasure Zhao Feng had obtained from the transparent palace was probably mid-quality divine rank. Buzz. Bzzz. Zhao Feng began to refine the spacetime robe. But Zhao Feng discovered that the process of refining the spacetime robe was extremely slow. Back then, Zhao Feng had only needed 4 to 4 hours at most to refine low-quality divine artifacts. But this was also proof of the quality of the spacetime robe. Because the refinement process was extremely slow and this was an excellent place for cultivation, Zhao Feng immediately split off a few thoughts to cultivate other aspects of cultivation. 5th Elemental Wind Lightning Technique, 11th level, 5 elements become 1. Zhao Feng's mind sank into the divine power vortex. At this time, Zhao Feng's 5 elements had become 1, and his energy had transformed into 5 elements divine power. Thus, the spring in his body could no longer be called Sacred Power Vortex. In the past, Zhao Feng's 5-colored Sacred Power Vortex had clear divisions between the 5 colors. But now, the 5 elements of wind lightning in the divine power vortex seemed to fuse into one, forming a complete jade plate on which 5-colored light slowly revolved. Circulating the 5 elemental wind lightning technique, Zhao Feng began to familiarize himself with his new cultivation level. Previously, Zhao Feng had been in such a hurry to break into the 11th level that he hadn't even had time to familiarize himself with his new energy, 5 elements divine power. 5 elements divine power was a powerful energy fused from 5 elements of wind lightning, many times more powerful than lightning fire obliteration. The 5 elements divine power has just been formed, but it's already comparable to the divine power of a rank 3 true god. Zhao Feng was rather excited. The 11th and 12th levels of the 5 elemental wind lightning technique were completely different from the first 10 levels. These 2 levels were considered minor realms and could be advanced rather quickly. They didn't require as many resources as the first 10 levels and required even more comprehension ability. At present, Zhao Feng's 5 elements were only at the initial stage of fusing together. Once they were perfectly fused, the 11th level would be complete. 5 elements divine power. With a thought from Zhao Feng, 5-colored light surged out of his body. Each portion of 5-colored divine power consumed 1 portion of wind lightning energy. This meant that Zhao Feng's consumption of 5 elements divine power was 5 times faster than before. However, Zhao Feng's divine power whirlpool was already different from others. It was extremely sturdy and filled with boundless energy. As he progressed through the 11th level, his 5 elements divine power would also get stronger and stronger. Time slowly passed. In the sky, Zhao Feng's aura was gradually climbing, and the 5-colored light illuminated the stars. But this powerful energy was quickly absorbed into Zhao Feng's body, making it impossible to see how deep it was. I can already use the power of the 5 elements divine power with great familiarity. Zhao Feng clenched his right hand as he sensed the vast and restless energy in his body. If I use the 5 elements divine power whirlpool as my foundation, along with my bloodline and physical body, I can at least reach rank 3 true god when I break through to the heavenly divine realm. Zhao Feng was very confident in this. But he had only recently become a quasi-god, and his 5 elemental wind lightning technique and golden Kuan's sacred lightning body still had room to improve. For this reason, Zhao Feng planned to continue building up his strength and increase his foundation, setting an even higher goal for himself. 1 month has passed, and I've successfully refined the spacetime robe. Zhao Feng happily smiled. 1 month here was only 3 days in the outside world. Let's see what secrets this spacetime robe has. A hint of surprise appeared on Zhao Feng's face. The intelligence of this divine artifact was no different from a human's, and it had its own dimension where time flowed 10 times slower than the outside world. It was hard to say how such a powerful divine artifact would help Zhao Feng. Chapter 1206. As he immersed his mind into the space-time robe, Zhao Feng realized that this dimension was now completely under his control. Zhao Feng could leave whenever he wanted and bring in whomever he wanted. In addition, this dimension had been created through a space-time ability. Once Zhao Feng was strong enough, he could modify it. Besides that, Zhao Feng could also receive other enhancements from the space-time robe. Zhao Feng, dressed in a dark silver robe, suddenly stood up. Heaven engulfing palm. He fused space-time intent into his palms. Boom! Boom! Several heaven-engulfing palms, imbued with vast and majestic energy, shot into the void and then reappeared. This astonishing energy seemed to cause the entire void to tremble. Space intent has been directly boosted to level 3, while time intent has been boosted a little. Zhao Feng came to a stop and concluded. The space-time robe had increased Zhao Feng's space intent by 1 level, and his time intent had also received a significant boost. This also meant that when Zhao Feng wore this robe, his space-time combat skills would be more than half a level stronger. Let's try this. Zhao Feng gave a mysterious smile as he poured space-time intent into the space-time robe. Swish! Zhao Feng's body vanished in a spatial blur. Swish! Nearby, Zhao Feng suddenly appeared. Swish! 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 Zhao Feng blinked back and forth in the void, his body unfathomable as if he could appear anywhere. Not bad. A look of pleasant surprise appeared on Zhao Feng's face. Spatial blink was an ability that the space-time robe had given to Zhao Feng. Within a certain range, Zhao Feng could travel as he pleased. Although the offensive power of a true god expert was extremely terrifying, and they also had the ability to lock space, spatial flicker was still pretty good as an unexpected movement technique. In addition, the space-time robe itself had recorded many space-time combat skills that Zhao Feng could learn. I'll learn instant movement first. Zhao Feng made his plans. His space profound had reached the 2nd level, so it wouldn't take long for him to learn teleport. Moreover, the space-time robe also buffed instant movement, increasing the distance or shortening the time taken. I wonder if the space-time robe can amplify the space-time eye bloodline techniques of the god's spiritual eye. Zhao Feng's eyes suddenly lit up. The god's spiritual eye's void movement and void space eye slash could be considered space-time techniques. If the space-time robe could also strengthen his eye bloodline techniques, Zhao Feng was more than willing to cultivate some space-time eye bloodline techniques. With this thought in mind, Zhao Feng activated his god's spiritual eye and communicated with the space-time robe. Buzz! A faint golden whirlpool appeared in Zhao Feng's left eye. Whoosh! At the same time, a whirlpool of eye bloodline power appeared in the air not far away. However, Zhao Feng suddenly froze on the spot. His eyes seemed to be in a daze as he remained motionless. This feeling, Zhao Feng murmured in a daze. Just a moment ago, when Zhao Feng was using the space-time robe to amplify the spatial eye bloodline techniques of the god's spiritual eye, Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye suddenly changed. Zhao Feng sensed that an enormous spatial structure had established some sort of connection with Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye. Gradually, Zhao Feng realized that his consciousness had left his body, jumped out of this dimension, and appeared in the ancient dream realm. Boom! Bang! Crash! In the outside world, many experts were still fighting over treasures. Meanwhile, the experts of the space-time sacred land had laid down some sort of array in the area where the space-time robe had vanished, apparently waiting for Zhao Feng to come out. Zhao Feng did not see the violet flame or the silver sword, and the ancient god expert had already left. The rank 5 true god of the spacetime sacred land seemed to sense something, and his brow creased as he looked up at the sky. He suddenly sensed that something in the sky was watching him. There's nothing. The rank 5 true god was perplexed. Had he just been hallucinating? In the spacetime robe dimension, a sliver of intelligence returned to Zhao Feng's eyes. What was going on just now? My consciousness jumped out of this dimension and fused into the void of the ancient dream realm. Zhao Feng's heart thumped in disbelief. At that moment, Zhao Feng's consciousness seemed to fuse with the void, allowing him to observe the environment of the ancient dream realm instead of using the eye of heaven to observe the outside world. Calming his mind, Zhao Feng once more used the god's spiritual eye to communicate with the spacetime robe. Buzz. Bzzz. Zhao Feng's consciousness followed the blurry spatial structure and slowly extended outwards, expanding until it descended into the ancient dream realm. At this moment, Zhao Feng was even more perfectly fused with the void, allowing him to observe everyone around him, but they found it very difficult to notice Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng sent out a thought. Bzzz. Boom. Boom. The ancient dream realm suddenly began to tremble. What's going on? Many of the experts in the middle of battle felt their hearts thump. Given their fighting power, they were simply incapable of shaking the dimension of the wild ancient secret dimension. So why had the dimension of this dimension suddenly begun to tremble for no reason? Swish. Zhao Feng's consciousness returned to his body. I understand. By using the support abilities of the spacetime robe, my control over the ancient dream realm has increased. Zhao Feng took in a deep breath and exclaimed. At this moment, Zhao Feng was even more certain that the ancient dream realm and the god's spiritual eye were closely connected. Perhaps the ancient dream realm was the origin dimension of the god's spiritual eye. If the wild ancient secret dimension that only opens once every 10,000 years opened early, then there must be a way to end it early. And Zhao Feng had always believed that he was the reason the wild ancient secret dimension had opened early. If he wanted to end the secret dimension early and drive these people out, the crux was definitely him, the god's spiritual eye. With this thought in mind, Zhao Feng solemnly sat down cross-legged and began to study. Origin energy. As Zhao Feng immersed his consciousness into the mysterious golden ball, he realized that he could use this energy. Zhao Feng remembered that every time he used the God Eye duplication, the God's spiritual eye consumed a certain amount of origin energy. According to the Eye of Death, the origin energy of the Eye of Death can affect the origin space. Zhao Feng seemed to have grasped the crux of the matter. Bzzz. In the God Eye dimension, the mysterious golden ball once more began to spin. This time, dreamy multicolored energy surged out of the golden ball. The moment he drew out this energy, Zhao Feng felt his god's spiritual eye weaken. Whoosh! Zhao Feng's consciousness mixed with this dreamy multicolored energy and slowly extended through the massive spatial framework. Swish! Zhao Feng's consciousness once more fused with the world of the ancient dream realm. But this time was completely different from the previous two times. At this moment, Zhao Feng could see everything for millions of li around him, and he felt that everything was under his control. He could use the intent of heaven and earth. At this moment, Zhao Feng seemed to be the ruler of this world. Everything would follow his will. All of you, scram! Zhao Feng inwardly roared. At the same time, his consciousness mixed with the God Eye's origin energy and fused with the enormous spatial framework. Bzzz. Boom. Boom. The ancient dream realm suddenly shook, and space began to revolve in a wondrous manner. A team that was walking not far away suddenly stopped. The spatial token is reacting. A special token appeared in an old man's hand. This token constantly flashed with light and released ripples of space intent. Everyone who entered the ancient desolate realm of gods would obtain a special spatial token. Only by using a spatial token could they sense the spatial channels between their race and sect, establish a connection, and smoothly return. Impossible. In the past, didn't the wild ancient secret dimension open for half a year? A young woman immediately asked. I'm not sure, but the light from the spatial token is getting stronger and stronger. If we don't quickly return, we might be trapped here forever. The elder solemnly stared at the spatial token in his hand. What? How could this be? Everyone in the group took out their spatial tokens, and after confirming this fact, they all became dejected. At the same time, everyone in the wild ancient secret dimension sensed that the secret dimension was about to end and that they had to return to the ancient desolate realm of gods. How could this be? That brat still hasn't come out. The experts of the spacetime sacred land had faces full of doubt and unwillingness. Let's go. We can only leave this place. Someone advised. Quasi-god Kong Yuan gave a sound of assent. If Zhao Feng hid in the spacetime robe and refused to come out, there was nothing they could do. And at this time, Zhao Feng had probably already returned to the ancient desolate realm of gods and wasn't even here. God sealing sacred land. Quasi-god Kong Yuan silently muttered these 4 words. Once he returned, he would investigate whether or not the god sealing sacred land had such a person. After all, the god sealing sacred land zone had not entered the wild ancient secret dimension, so the chance that Zhao Feng was a prodigy of the god sealing sacred land was not very high. Swish. 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 At the same time, figures began to vanish from various parts of the ancient dream realm. Swish. Zhao Feng's consciousness returned to his body. It really worked. Zhao Feng's forehead was beaded with sweat as he excitedly said. He didn't expect that after obtaining the spacetime robe, Zhao Feng would unexpectedly discover a way to force the people of the wild ancient secret dimension out of this place. The wild ancient secret dimension had opened early, and it had also ended early. But at this moment, Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye was extremely tired, and his soul and mind were also abnormally tired. He wanted nothing more than to collapse and sleep. But Zhao Feng managed to restrain himself. Go, let's leave this place. Zhao Feng said to the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon and Little Ling, Master, those people from the spacetime sacred land might still be outside. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon warned. But Zhao Feng had already taken the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon and Little Ling out of the spacetime robe dimension. No one's here. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon looked around in shock and saw that there was no one around. A few days ago, when it left the spacetime robe, a battle had still been going on, but now, not a single person was here. Little Ling, you should go back as well. Zhao Feng said to Little Ling. Little Ling's eyes paused for a moment, and then she nodded. Just as she was about to return to the phoenix nest, she realized that the days she had spent with Zhao Feng had been wonderful and wonderful. Kaboom! In a burst of violet flames, Little Ling's graceful figure transformed into a beautiful phoenix-tailed bird and left. Chapter 1207. Zhao Feng's current location was where the transparent palace had appeared. Back then, this place had been surrounded by endless mountains, but now, it was just a crater. Thud-ish. Thud-ish. 2 ear-piercing sounds rang out as Zhao Wang and Zhao Wan arrived. However, both of them had injuries of varying degrees. The Eye of Myriad Forms could attack and defend, and Zhao Wang had an immortal death body. Enemies that could injure them so severely were definitely not ordinary. Meow. On Zhao Wan's shoulder, the little thieving cat shook its head inside. The golden jade race and the blue-scaled race. Zhao Feng softly muttered, his expression cold. Back then, Zhao Feng, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon, and Little Ling had been brought into the spacetime robe dimension. When the blue-scaled race saw that only 3 people remained in Zhao Feng's group, they immediately launched a counterattack. Later on, a portion of the Golden Jade race also joined in. Zhao Wang and Zhao Wan had more tricks up their sleeves and managed to escape, but the azure-robed elder that Zhao Feng had enslaved fell to their vicious hands. "Let's go back first," Zhao Feng indifferently said. He naturally meant that they should return to the ancient dream realm and return to Zhao Feng's original territory. Without the experts of the ancient desolate realm of gods, it would be rather difficult for Zhao Feng's group to expand in this area. Thus, Zhao Feng decided to return to the outer regions and slowly expand his territory. Whoosh! Zhao Feng was the fastest of the group. He took them into his little world and began to hurry on his way. On the way, Zhao Feng tried to understand instant movement as he flew. A few days later, Zhao Feng successfully comprehended instant movement. Buzz. Bzzz. Zhao Feng's body exuded powerful ripples of space intent that fused with the surrounding space. Bzzz. Spatial ripples appeared in the space in front of Zhao Feng, rippling like transparent water. Whoosh! Zhao Feng leaped into the spatial ripples. 300,000 li away. Buzz! The void of heaven and earth twisted, and a strong spatial fluctuation was produced. A spatial ripple appeared in the void. Whoosh! Zhao Feng's figure flew out directly. One teleportation, 300,000 li. Zhao Feng was pleasantly surprised. He had only just learned how to teleport. As he continued to practice it, the distance he could teleport would increase. Zhao Feng then used the Misty Spatial World's teleportation ability to return to his original territory after trying to teleport a few times. Whoosh! Zhao Feng released his two clones, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon, and the Little Thieving Cat. "Master, why don't you let Little Ling help us deal with Sky Feather Island's troubles?" the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon asked. He had used too much of the origin energy of destruction, damaging his foundation and causing his cultivation to decline. He could not help Zhao Feng now. "There's no need," Zhao Feng answered directly. If Xiao Ling took action, she could indeed resolve Sky Feather Island's troubles. However, it was better to keep the secret that Zhao Feng could enter and exit the ancient dream realm at will. Furthermore, with Zhao Feng's current strength and manpower, dealing with Sky Feather Island wouldn't take much effort. "Recover your cultivation as soon as possible," Zhao Feng said to the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon. Zhao Feng wasn't in a rush to leave right now. At the very least, he needed to wait until the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon recovered, Zhao Wang and Zhao Wan recovered from their injuries, and stabilized their cultivation before leaving. Whoosh! A figure flew toward Zhao Feng. This person was wearing green clothes, and his face was as white as jade. He had an amiable expression. Zhao Hui. Zhao Feng nodded his head. The soul avatar with the eyes of samsara was called Zhao Hui. At this moment, Zhao Hui had successfully refined the eyes of samsara into his soul. "Take these to cultivate and comprehend." Zhao Feng directly passed some of the techniques, theories, and secret techniques in his mind to Zhao Hui. Zhao Feng's plan was to have Zhao Hui become a doctor. In terms of combat, Zhao Feng already had Zhao Wang, Zhao Wan, and the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon, as well as many other ancient beasts. Moreover, the eyes of the samsara of life didn't have much fighting power. Thus, it was better for Zhao Hui to become a doctor. For one, he could help Zhao Feng and the others recover from their injuries. For another, a doctor could refine pills that could increase the cultivation speed of Zhao Feng's team and resolve some of the bottlenecks they faced on the martial path. Back when he was creating a body for Zhao Hui, Zhao Feng had chosen a large number of precious resources to give him a body that was filled with medicinal properties and had a natural affinity with the world. This was also to make his path on the path of medicine smoother. However, without talent, the medicine Dao was even more difficult than the martial path. In a short amount of time, Zhao Hui would find it very difficult to reach Zhao Feng's ideal height. Swish! With a wave of his robe, Zhao Feng took his 3 clones and a black destruction serpent dragon into the space-time robe dimension. The flow of time in the space-time robe dimension was 10 times slower than in the outside world, so he naturally had to make good use of it. After taking everyone into the space-time robe dimension, Zhao Feng also arrived. Thud. Seated cross-legged on the ground, Zhao Feng began to browse through the space-time combat skills in the space-time robe. Space-time combat skills are rather difficult to cultivate. At this stage, it's best to choose a space-time combat skill or secret art that suits me the most. Zhao Feng muttered. Spatial shift. Zhao Feng's gaze fell upon this spatial secret art. Space moving was essentially the same as space teleportation, but space moving focused more on distance, expanding the distance one could travel to the limit. Instant movement might only cover a few 100,000 li, but spatial shift could cover tens of millions of li, equivalent to a short-distance teleportation array in the ancient desolate realm of gods. However, spatial shift had very high requirements. It required at least level 6 space intent. Zhao Feng could only put it down and continue his search. Found it. A space-time eye bloodline technique. Zhao Feng's eyes flickered. Zhao Feng's theoretical foundation for eye bloodline techniques was the most solid. Space-time eye bloodline techniques were the most suitable for him. Space-time lock-eye, space-time seal. These 2 space-time eye bloodline techniques appeared in Zhao Feng's mind. Space-time lock-eye, lock onto an area of space, making it impossible for the target to use any space-time movement techniques. If one's time intent is powerful enough, it can even slow down the flow of time. Space-time seal, focus space-time intent on a single point and lock onto a single person, preventing them from using space intent. If used in conjunction with time intent, it can even cause the target's body to freeze in place. Space-time seal was a middle-class divine-level secret art while space-time seal was for high-rank divine-level true gods. Thus, Zhao Feng decided to start with the space-time lock-eye. He split off many thoughts, the first to cultivate the space-time lock-eye. As for the second, Zhao Feng used it to cultivate the Golden Kun sacred lightning body. Zhao Feng used the remaining thoughts to study the void space eye/. When Zhao Feng broke through to the mystic light realm, this eye bloodline technique was gradually eliminated. However, Zhao Feng was very strong and specialized in space intent, so he might be able to modify and strengthen this eye bloodline technique. The days of cultivation always passed very quickly. On a certain day, Zhao Feng's physical body suddenly rose to another level. Zhao Feng's body became translucent, and 5-colored lightning flowed on its surface. Boom! Weng, the 5-colored lightning and a terrifying physical force erupted from Zhao Feng's body. Boom! Heaven and earth faintly shook. My sacred lightning body has broken through to the late stages of the 7th level. Zhao Feng said with a smile. With the birth of Zhao Feng's 5 elements divine power and the power of God tribulation lightning, the effect of refining the sacred lightning body became even better. Because of this, Zhao Feng's sacred lightning body broke through in just a few dozen days. Now that the sacred lightning body had reached the late stages of the 7th level, Zhao Feng could crush a rank 2 true god with just his physical strength alone. After consolidating his foundation, Zhao Feng used this thought to analyze the soul-splitting technique before continuing to cultivate in seclusion. Another 10-some days later, Zhao Feng opened his eyes, but this was only to test out his eye bloodline technique. Tribulation lightning eye/. Zhao Feng's eyes focused on a certain place. Whoosh! A spatial whirlpool appeared, and then a crystalline blade of lightning shot out. Whoosh! The blade rapidly slashed through the air, leaving behind a frightening white light. No, the ripples of space are too strong. Experts with space intent can easily sense it. Zhao Feng's expression darkened. The tribulation lightning eye/ was a new eye bloodline technique that Zhao Feng had created based on the void space eye/ and other techniques. The tribulation lightning eye slash was extremely powerful. If it was released directly from the opponent, it would be easily detected. Zhao Feng continued to analyze and experiment. Half a year passed in the blink of an eye, but only half a month had passed in the outside world. Master, I've already recovered to the level of a rank 2 true god. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon said as it approached Zhao Feng. If that's the case, let's go out. Zhao Feng opened his bright eyes. Sky Feather Island, the Sky Feather Island Lord, True God Guisha, and the other true god experts of Sky Feather Island were still guarding this place. 4 months had passed, but during these 4 months, there had been no spatial fluctuations in the vicinity. This made everyone suspect that Zhao Feng was no longer in this dimension. However, they didn't dare to leave without the Sky Feather Island Lord's permission. Big bro, could that brat have already left? True God Guisha asked in confusion. Impossible. Since he's hiding in this dimension, he'll create spatial ripples if he moves even the slightest bit. The Sky Feather Island Lord had a cold and gloomy expression. In reality, he also suspected that Zhao Feng and company were no longer in this dimension. Even if Zhao Feng was still hiding in this dimension, if he could hide for 4 months, he would definitely be able to hide for even longer. Although 4 months was just the blink of an eye for true god experts, they felt like there was a fishbone stuck in their throats if they didn't resolve this matter. Thus, each day was extremely difficult to endure. It's appeared. The Sky Feather Island Lord's expression suddenly changed, and a cold light shot out of his eyes. After waiting for 4 months, a ripple finally appeared in this dimension. Attack! The Sky Feather Island Lord roared. Thud-ish. A gray-white light shot out of the Sky Feather Island Lord's hand. The powerful cold energy caused everyone's hearts to tremble. Whoosh! Thump! The gray-white light left behind a layer of icy mist wherever it passed. Boom! Bang! Crash! All the true god experts immediately circulated their divine power and began to attack the Sky Feather Island Lord. Broom! Heaven and earth boomed as a terrifying ripple of divine power spread into the surroundings. Even the spatial ceiling array set up in this place started to shake. I wonder if it succeeded. True God Guisha was filled with anticipation. That attack just now contained the power of more than 20 true gods. I've made all of you wait for a long time. A loud laughter could be heard all of a sudden. As the dust settled, a figure slowly appeared. He wore silver clothes, had golden hair, and exuded a handsome aura. Chapter 1208. Zhao Feng, you've finally come out. True God Guisha roared as his ghost Dao divine power surged out. The resentment and pressure that he had accumulated for 4 months instantly exploded out. It's this person. Some of the true gods that had never seen Zhao Feng before revealed surprised expressions. True God Guisha had summoned all the true god experts of Sky Feather Island for just a normal quasi-god, and even the Sky Feather Island Lord was personally guarding this place. This made them extremely curious about Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng, why have you come out? True God Sky Fire of the Blazing Fire Golden Sheep race had an anxious expression. There were almost 20 true god experts present, including the rank 3 true god Guisha and the rank 4 true god Sky Feather Island Lord. No matter how talented Zhao Feng was, it had only been 4 months. How could he be a match for these people? True God Guisha would probably be able to capture Zhao Feng the moment he took action. Zhao Feng. The Sky Feather Island Lord's cold eyes inspected the golden-haired male in front of him. Being able to kill True God Gili meant that this person's talent was even higher than Shifeng's. Furthermore, the fact that this person had suddenly appeared with a calm expression made the Sky Feather Island Lord feel like everything was unreal. The Sky Feather Island Lord's expression suddenly changed. He realized that Zhao Feng was floating in the air. One had to know that they had set up a space sealing array that prohibited flying and the use of space power. However, Zhao Feng was currently floating in the middle of their space sealing array. How was this possible? Other than the Sky Feather Island Lord, the array master that set up the array was the next to realize this. It must be that treasure. The Sky Feather Island Lord's gaze landed on the dark silver robe that Zhao Feng was wearing. He could feel that the dark silver robe had a profound space profundity around it that repelled the power of the forbidden space formation. This treasure was at least an average quality divine weapon. He had to get it. Treasure. The other true god experts also noticed the dark silver robe that Zhao Feng was wearing. It had to be a space-type divine weapon that could ignore the space sealing array. Boom. Xiao. In an instant, more than 10 true god wills pressed down on Zhao Feng's body. Those wills pierced through the void, causing explosions in the soul level. The power of the profound mysteries of heaven and earth was enough to destroy a 4-star force instantly. Rumble. The wind and clouds around Zhao Feng surged, and the rocks around him collapsed in an instant. It was as if doomsday had arrived. Humph. Zhao Feng stood motionless on the spot. His soul intent was as calm as the ocean, and his sacred lightning body had reached the late stage of the 7th level, so he could ignore all attacks below the 2nd-order true god realm. How could the intents of mere rank 1 and rank 2 true gods affect him? How is this possible? The many true god experts that were present paled in shock. Even if Zhao Feng's soul intent had reached the level of a rank 2 true god, he would not be able to block the attacks of so many true gods present. Could it be that he has a divine artifact that can defend one's soul? Everyone stared at Zhao Feng with greed in their eyes. Could Zhao Feng have broken through to real god? True god Skyfire was surprised. Zhao Feng's aura was vast and profound. True god Skyfire was unable to determine his cultivation. Furthermore, true god Skyfire knew of Zhao Feng's talent. Once he tried to break through to the heavenly divine realm, there was a high chance that he would become a rank 2 heavenly divine realm. Humph, it looks like you've gotten a lot stronger. True god Guisha had a cold expression. If he hadn't gotten stronger, Zhao Feng probably wouldn't have dared to appear. However, how strong could Zhao Feng have become in just 4 months? Even if he broke through to the true god realm, he wouldn't be a match for all the true gods present. Furthermore, his elder brother, the Sky Feather Island Lord, was also present. Kill! True god Guisha roared. All the true gods present stared at Zhao Feng. Everyone could see that the silver robe on Zhao Feng wasn't ordinary. Furthermore, they had heard that Zhao Feng had once obtained a very high-grade divine weapon. Whoever killed Zhao Feng first might be able to obtain some of his savings. At that moment, everyone was thinking about how to obtain some benefits from Zhao Feng. After all, they were true god experts, but they had guarded this place for 4 months. They would be unwilling if they didn't get something back. Swoosh swoosh swoosh. More than a dozen true god experts leaped toward Zhao Feng. The terrifying pressure of the world caused everything around Zhao Feng to be instantly destroyed. Boom boom boom. Thunder, fire, ice, wind, and countless terrifying energies pressed toward Zhao Feng. It looked like Zhao Feng was about to be drowned in the attacks of the true god experts. Suddenly, a spatial shadow appeared around Zhao Feng. Whoosh! In the next instant, Zhao Feng's figure disappeared. What's going on? This scene was witnessed by everyone present, and they all voiced their doubts in shock. The rank 1 true gods of Sky Feather Island obviously didn't understand spatial blink. Watch out! True god Guisha suddenly sensed something and roared. However, his warning was too late. Whoosh! At some point, Zhao Feng had appeared behind a rank 1 true god. Swish! Circulating the sacred lightning body and activating the Blood Devil Sun bloodline, Zhao Feng punched out. Boom! Bang! Crash! A giant hole appeared in the rank 1 true god's body, and his body was covered in blood. Kaboom! At the same time, a scorching blood-colored flame ignited his body. Ah! After screaming for a while, the rank 1 true god's soul was destroyed. Hiss! The battlefield became deathly silent. All the true gods around Zhao Feng were dumbstruck. A single attack had killed a rank 1 true god without any ability to resist. Everyone felt their hearts go cold. The majority of the people present were rank 1 true gods. This meant that Zhao Feng could kill them as easily as flipping his hand. He only needed one attack. If he could kill a rank 1 true god in one attack, then killing a rank 2 true god wouldn't be difficult. All the low-level true gods present felt an invisible fear rise up in their hearts. This person, the Sky Feather Island Lord, had a grim expression. He could kill a rank 1 true god in one attack as well. However, Zhao Feng's technique just now was not simple. It was obvious that he had used the intent of space to use it. Attack together! The Sky Feather Island Lord coldly roared. Whoosh! True God Guisha circulated the power of his little world and charged at Zhao Feng. Even though Zhao Feng had displayed astonishing strength, he still couldn't kill him. Whoosh! 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 The other True God experts had no choice but to team up and work with True God Guisha. After all, the Sky Feather Island Lord was a rank 4 True God. Killing them would be like squashing an ant. No one dared to go against the Sky Feather Island Lord's will. Moreover, they had the advantage in numbers. If they worked together and were careful, they would definitely be able to instantly kill Zhao Feng with the help of True God Guisha and the Sky Feather Island Lord. You're too slow. Zhao Feng shook his head. Swish! Space intent surged, and Zhao Feng disappeared once more. Watch out! The moment Zhao Feng disappeared, everyone tensed up. This was because that rank 1 true god had been ambushed by Zhao Feng and killed in one attack. But even though they were on their guard, it was useless. Ah! When Zhao Feng landed behind a true god, another scream rang out. A second true god had fallen. He had still instantly attacked and killed in one attack. Seeking death. With a cold snort, the Sky Feather Island Lord blinked to Zhao Feng's side. He had True God Guisha and the others attack just now to force Zhao Feng to use Spatial Blink. The moment Zhao Feng appeared, the Sky Feather Island Lord would attack again, and Zhao Feng would have nowhere to hide. Dark Ice Palm. The Sky Feather Island Lord's palm was so thick that it was like a gray-white mist. Boom! Bang! The Sky Feather Island Lord thrust out a palm of ice and water, exuding a cold aura that could corrode all things, toward Zhao Feng like a bolt of lightning. The Sky Feather Island Lord has taken action. This brat is dead for sure. As expected of a rank 4 true god. This attack is enough to annihilate my race. The rank 1 true gods and rank 2 true gods present revealed expressions of joy and excitement. Boom! The dark gray palm slammed into Zhao Feng's body. Swish! 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 The dark silver robe on Zhao Feng's body began to exude layers of mysterious spatial blurs. All the energy in the palm seemed to be exiled into a different dimension, its power weakening like a stone sinking into the ocean. Boom! Bang! The power of the freezing dark ice palm was extremely weak, and when it landed on Zhao Feng's body, it only created a layer of ice. Zhao Feng, on the other hand, was standing calmly, seemingly unharmed. That brat is actually fine. How could this be? Seeing this scene, the hearts of the other true god powerhouses jumped fiercely, monstrous waves surging in their minds. Zhao Feng should still be a quasi-god, but how could a quasi-god be this strong? How could he block the Sky Feather Island Lord's attack? How could this be? The Sky Feather Island Lord was stunned beyond belief. He was a rank 4 true god, but his full-strength attack hadn't done much damage to Zhao Feng. Not even a rank 4 true god would be able to do this. Of course, the Sky Feather Island Lord didn't believe that this was due to Zhao Feng's strength. It was definitely due to the dark silver robe he was wearing. This robe might even be a high-quality divine rank robe. Swish! Zhao Feng's body flickered as he vanished once more. Not good. This person wants to use this technique to kill other true gods again. The Sky Feather Island Lord grimaced. Not even the space sealing array could stop Zhao Feng, so his technique was naturally useless. Run! This person is too powerful, especially his movement techniques. The true gods instantly fell into a panic when they saw Zhao Feng vanish. No one knew who Zhao Feng would appear behind. Every flicker of Zhao Feng seemed to foretell the fall of a true god. At this moment, the Sky Feather Island Lord suddenly sensed an obscure spatial ripple behind him. He had never imagined that Zhao Feng would attack him. Humph, you're seeking death. The Sky Feather Island Lord coldly snorted as he circulated his divine power. Swish! Behind the Sky Feather Island Lord, Zhao Feng's figure appeared. Die! To think that you would be so arrogant as to move behind me. The Sky Feather Island Lord coldly smiled. Zhao Feng's space intent was so powerful that he had the advantage of speed, making it impossible for the Sky Feather Island Lord to approach. But now, Zhao Feng had moved to the Sky Feather Island Lord's side. Even if Zhao Feng's defensive divine artifact was of an extremely high level, the Sky Feather Island Lord was confident that he could kill Zhao Feng in close combat. Ha! Zhao Feng's lips curled into a faint smile as he retreated. At the same time, Zhao Feng's left eye surged with astonishing ripples of eye intent. God Eye Duplication, Icy Underworld Palm. A deep palm of icy water suddenly appeared, exuding a cold aura that could corrode all things as it hurtled toward the Sky Feather Island Lord. How could this be? The Sky Feather Island Lord grimaced as he hastily used his defensive techniques. Bang! The massive icy water palm struck the Sky Feather Island Lord. Boom! Thump! Thump! The Sky Feather Island Lord flew backward for some distance before stabilizing himself. At this moment, his entire body was covered in a layer of icy mist. A trickle of cold blood seeped from the corner of his lips, and his face was ghastly pale. The other true gods instantly froze when they saw this, their faces filled with fear and trepidation. Chapter 1209. Even the Sky Feather Island Lord had been pushed back by Zhao Feng. The other true gods were indescribably shocked. Moreover, what Zhao Feng used was the Sky Feather Island Lord's ultimate technique. This temporarily short-circuited their brains, and they couldn't figure out what was going on. So strong. Real God Tianhua swallowed his saliva and his body trembled. He was able to exchange blows with a rank 4 true god without even becoming a true god. In just a few short months, Zhao Feng had transformed to such an extent. How did he do it? Although he was extremely excited, real God Tianhua was still a little worried. There were many true gods present. Apart from the Sky Feather Island Lord, there was also a rank 3 true god Guisha. And Zhao Feng was alone. After all, Zhao Feng had yet to become a rank 4 true god, so true god Skyfire did not believe that Zhao Feng could kill the Sky Feather Island Lord. However, as long as Zhao Feng survived, it wouldn't be long before he surpassed the Sky Feather Island Lord. Brat, you will definitely die. The Sky Feather Island Lord's face was icy, his eyes flashing with a vicious light. As a rank 4 true god, he had been ambushed and injured by a quasi-god. If he didn't kill Zhao Feng today, he would become the laughingstock of the other true gods. Moreover, in the Sky Feather Island Lord's opinion, this was all because of the robe that Zhao Feng was wearing. Hee hee. Zhao Feng sneered. The space-time robe was of such high quality that the Sky Feather Island Lord's attacks were incapable of harming Zhao Feng. And Zhao Feng's speed was also at a high point. With the space-time robe, he was virtually invincible, so how could the Sky Feather Island Lord kill him? Of course, Zhao Feng himself only had the strength of a rank 3 true god. If he didn't borrow the power of the space-time robe, Zhao Feng wouldn't even be able to stop the attacks of those true gods, much less the Sky Feather Island Lord. None of you are allowed to leave. I'll kill whoever leaves. The Sky Feather Island Lord coldly shouted at the other true gods. Zhao Feng's spatial abilities were too powerful. In a one-on-one fight, the Sky Feather Island Lord would find it very difficult to approach Zhao Feng. With these people as targets, as long as Zhao Feng made a move to kill, he would be able to catch Zhao Feng's flaws. Yes, Island Lord. The true gods knew that the Sky Feather Island Lord was using them as sacrificial targets. But if they tried to escape, they would be immediately killed by the Sky Feather Island Lord. Now, they could only pray that Zhao Feng's next target was someone else. Indeed, none of you can leave today. Zhao Feng looked up to the sky and laughed. The Sky Feather Island Lord had to be dealt with. The others couldn't be let off so easily either. When the rest of the real gods heard what Zhao Feng had said, they could not help but smile bitterly. The Sky Feather Island Lord was so powerful that he had forced them to stay behind as targets. At this moment, Zhao Feng seemed absolutely confident that he could keep all of them here. They had so many true gods, yet they were being toyed around in the palms of these two experts. If you don't die, they naturally won't be able to leave. The Sky Feather Island Lord's divine sense covered the entire area, his eyes locked onto Zhao Feng. Is that so? As Zhao Feng lightly spoke, a spatial blur appeared around him. This kid, the Sky Feather Island Lord, was shocked. Once Zhao Feng used spatial blink, he would be able to predict where he would go and attack Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng also knew this. But at this moment, Zhao Feng still used spatial blink without hesitation. Who in the world would walk down a path of death when they knew it was a dead end? Swish! Zhao Feng's figure suddenly vanished. Over there. The Sky Feather Island Lord's divine sense covered an area of several dozen li, allowing him to instantly determine where Zhao Feng would appear. He was somewhat puzzled as to why Zhao Feng would still head toward a mountain even though he knew there was a tiger there. But the Sky Feather Island Lord could not do nothing and just watch as Zhao Feng killed people in front of him. His target is me. A rank 1 true god instantly revealed a look of despair. He was a true god of the blue-eyed ice wolf race, and he had a premonition that he would be Zhao Feng's next target. Swish! Zhao Feng's figure appeared behind this true god. A moment later, the Sky Feather Island Lord and true god Wuxia arrived. The Sky Feather Island Lord gripped a mystic ice crystal fan in his hand while true god Wuxia wielded a dark silver bone spear. Black ghost devours the heavens. Icy nether pierces the bones. The two true gods used their divine weapons to unleash their full power attacks. This world-destroying power caused all the true god experts present to retreat, fearing that they would be injured by the shockwaves. The targets of these two attacks were Zhao Feng and the true god of the blue-eyed ice wolf race. Zhao Feng, you're doomed. The true god of the blue-eyed ice wolf race gave a despairing smile as he cursed Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng ignored this true god, turning to the Sky Feather Island Lord and waving the space-time robe. Swish! 3 powerful auras suddenly descended. Black hole of death. The moment Zhao Wang appeared, the staff of death curse appeared in his hand. A monstrous aura of death spread through the surroundings, corroding all life. The eye on the staff of death curse resonated with the eye of death and shot out a black mist. This black mist was evil and frightening, suffused with an intent that made one's heart shudder. The black hole of death met the Sky Feather Island Lord's attack. The Sky Feather Island Lord's powerful attack was sucked in by the black hole of death. At the same time, the energy within the attack was being corroded by death intent and gradually weakened. Death intent could corrode all things in the world and plunge them into the abyss of death. Destruction Dragon Blast. Heaven-destroying Sacred Lightning Palm. Zhao Feng and the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon used this chance to attack the Sky Feather Island Lord and true god Guisha. Sword of Piercing Metal. On the other side, Zhao Wan used the Eye of Myriad Forms to shatter true god Gisha's attack. Boom! Bang! Crash! Everyone's attacks struck the Sky Feather Island Lord and true god Guisha. You have helpers. The Sky Feather Island Lord's complexion became somewhat weak. Zhao Wan's death intent was extremely powerful, and it instantly corroded several thousand years of his lifespan. It truly is Zhao Feng's helper. True god Guisha clutched his chest to stop his injuries and stammered. He had seen Zhao Wan and the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon before, but he didn't think that Zhao Wan would also become so strong. So many experts. The other true gods were also stunned. They didn't think that Zhao Feng would still have a trump card. Spatial Lock Eye. Zhao Feng circulated the god's spiritual, surging with space intent as he stared at the Sky Feather Island Lord. Buzz. Bzzz. This part of the world was instantly sealed off by Zhao Feng. The Sky Feather Island Lord was unable to use any spatial escape techniques, and even his space intent was restricted. The Sky Feather Island Lord naturally sensed the change in space. He just didn't think that Zhao Feng's secret technique would be even stronger than the spatial lock array they had set up. At this moment, the Sky Feather Island Lord finally understood why Zhao Feng was still heading toward the mountain despite knowing that there was a tiger nearby. It was because Zhao Feng's true target was the tiger that was the Sky Feather Island Lord. If Zhao Feng had blinked directly behind the Sky Feather Island Lord, he would definitely have been on guard. Thus, Zhao Feng had purposefully blinked behind a true god to lure the Sky Feather Island Lord and true god Guisha into attacking him. How could this be? The blue-eyed ice wolf race true god was frozen to the spot, his expression dazed. Zhao Feng had only appeared next to him to lure the Sky Feather Island Lord and true god Guisha. It was truly laughable. He was a mighty true god expert, but he was being used as bait by two experts at the same time. The two of you guard this place. Kill whoever tries to leave. Zhao Feng said to the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon and Zhao Wan. Kill. Zhao Feng and Zhao Wan charged at the Sky Feather Island Lord. Scram! The Sky Feather Island Lord hurriedly waved the mystic ice crystal fan in his hand, unleashing a boundless storm of ice. At this moment, the Sky Feather Island Lord was in a panic. He had never imagined that Zhao Feng's true target would be him. Moreover, the man next to Zhao Feng exuding a monstrous amount of death chi was a quasi-god, but he possessed extraordinary strength. Most importantly, even the Sky Feather Island Lord could sense the dreadful energy contained within the pitch-black staff in his hand. Black Hole of Death. Zhao Wan activated the Eye of Death, resonating with the black eye on the Staff of Death and unleashing another ball of pitch-black mist. The pitch-black mist destroyed everything in its path. Heaven Engulfing Palm. Zhao Feng circulated his spacetime intent and unleashed a Heaven Engulfing Palm. This Heaven Engulfing Palm carried a vast and majestic aura as it disappeared into the void and reappeared to strike the Sky Feather Island Lord. Freezing Sky Shield. With a wave of his hands, an enormous ice crystal formed in front of the Sky Feather Island Lord. Break! Zhao Feng unleashed several more Heaven Engulfing Palms. Boom! Bang! Crash! Level 2 space intent boosted by the spacetime robe and the Heaven Engulfing Palm's own level of power instantly shattered the Sky Feather Island Lord's defenses. Boom! Bang! Crash! Unable to dodge in time, the Sky Feather Island Lord was struck by one of the heaven-engulfing palms. His body flew back several li and he vomited blood. Tentacles of death. Countless intelligent black tentacles extended from Zhao Wan's staff of death curse. The black tentacles of death engulfed the Sky Feather Island Lord. This is absurd. The two of them have such supreme treasures. The Sky Feather Island Lord was furious. Zhao Feng's spacetime robe had powerful defenses, profound movement techniques, and even buffed spacetime combat skills. Meanwhile, Zhao Wang wielded the staff of death curse, and its death intent could corrode all. Run! The Sky Feather Island Lord had no desire to fight. Zhao Feng's defenses were powerful and his speed was fast. He could not kill him. And Zhao Wang's divine weapon was sinister and terrifying, posing a great threat to him. However, because he could not use any spatial escape techniques, the Sky Feather Island Lord could only rely on his powerful divine power to travel through space. The speed of a rank 4 true god was nothing to scoff at. If he focused on escaping, those two quasi-gods would not be able to kill him, no matter how powerful they were. But a moment later, the space in front of the Sky Feather Island Lord rippled with powerful spatial ripples. Buzz! Bzzz. Space twisted as Zhao Feng leaped out of it. This is instant movement. The Sky Feather Island Lord was very knowledgeable, so he naturally recognized this skill. But he had never imagined that a mere quasi-god like Zhao Feng could also use instant movement. Gaze of the God Eye. The moment Zhao Feng appeared, he used the gaze of the God Eye to restrain the Sky Feather Island Lord's soul. Humph, you want to absorb my soul with this sort of eye bloodline technique? The Sky Feather Island Lord coldly snorted. Although Zhao Feng's eye bloodline technique was powerful, his soul intent was too weak. This technique was incapable of affecting the Sky Feather Island Lord. Just when the Sky Feather Island Lord was about to break free, swish! Zhao Feng's dark silver robe fluttered in the wind as Zhao Wang appeared. Gaze of Death. Zhao Wang activated the Eye of Death and pointed the Staff of Death Curse at the Sky Feather Island Lord. Bzzz. The Eye of Death and the Black Eye above the Death Curse simultaneously unleashed a powerful death intent that descended around the Sky Feather Island Lord. Awoo! The Staff of Death Curse began to emit ghostly wails. This was the power of the curse. The fusion of death and curse created a dreadful energy that could reduce any living being to dust. Zhao Feng had only been temporarily restraining the Sky Feather Island Lord. The true killing blow was Zhao Wang and the Staff of Death Curse. Chapter 12:10. The gaze of the God Eye and the gaze of death simultaneously enveloped the Sky Feather Island Lord, greatly strengthening the restraining power. Furthermore, the Black Eye on the Staff of Death Curse seemed to be able to coordinate with Zhao Wang's ocular techniques and greatly amplify his attacks. Ah! The Sky Feather Island Lord let out a miserable scream. He could feel his life, power, and soul being eroded by the death power Upanishad. In addition, the powerful curse power of the Staff of Death Curse wrapped around the Sky Feather Island Lord's body, greatly reducing his regenerative abilities and resistance. Damn it, how can it be so powerful? Is this God artifact a supreme quality God artifact? The Sky Feather Island Lord stared at the Staff of Death Curse in Zhao Wang's hand, his heart filled with fear. Divine artifacts were divided into low-grade, mid-grade, high-grade, and supreme grade. The vast majority of low-level true gods used low-quality divine artifacts, rank 4 to rank 6 corresponded to middle-quality divine artifacts, and ancient gods used high-quality divine artifacts. As for supreme-quality divine artifacts, it was rumored that only god lords possessed them. Zhao Wang was only a quasi-god, but he was able to use a divine artifact to display such powerful offensive power. That divine artifact was definitely a supreme-quality divine artifact. Supreme-quality divine artifacts were divine artifacts of divine masters. But now, It was being held in the hands of a weak quasi-god. Whoosh! A clone suddenly appeared behind the Sky Feather Island Lord. Xiao! The Sky Feather Island Lord's clone charged at Zhao Feng and Zhao Wang. As long as either Zhao Feng or Zhao Wang could be interrupted, the Sky Feather Island Lord would have a chance to survive. If he were to die in the hands of two quasi-gods, he would not be able to rest in peace. With a thought from Zhao Feng, the little thieving cat emerged from the spacetime robe. Meow, meow. The dark golden dragon snake whip in the little thieving cat's hand lashed out at the Sky Feather Island Lord's clone. Explode! The Sky Feather Island Lord clenched his teeth and growled. Immediately, the Sky Feather Island Lord's clone felt a fatal danger brewing within it. Not good. Zhao Feng's expression changed slightly. The Sky Feather Island Lord's clone had the strength of a peak rank 2 true god. Once it self-detonated, even a rank 3 true god would find it hard to survive. Whoosh! Zhao Feng's group of 3 hid in the spacetime robe dimension. Whoosh! After entering for a moment, Zhao Feng immediately appeared again. Rumble! The heavens and earth were dark, ice explosions raged, and the power of ice was bone-chilling. The moment of explosion was the most powerful. Zhao Feng's sacred lightning body could completely ignore the aftershocks. Where do you think you're going? Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye looked towards a certain direction. Buzz! Zhao Feng's spacetime robe rippled with powerful spacetime intent. Teleportation. Zhao Feng leaped up and disappeared into the void. Hundreds of thousands of li away, the Sky Feather Island Lord, extremely weak and battered, was rapidly piercing through space. After escaping from Zhao Feng and Zhao Wang's restraints, he immediately used the space escape technique. Although it couldn't compare to teleportation, it was still extremely fast. A supreme-grade divine artifact. Even if I can't get it, you guys will definitely die. The Sky Feather Island Lord said with a face full of resentment. Once he made public the matter of the supreme-quality divine artifact, countless ancient god experts would go crazy and fight over the chance to kill Zhao Feng. Suddenly, the Sky Feather Island Lord sensed a powerful spatial ripple behind him. Zhao Feng's figure suddenly leaped out of the void. He caught up so quickly. The Sky Feather Island Lord was flabbergasted. He had no idea that Zhao Feng's spacetime robe could increase the distance of instant movement. Moreover, the spacetime robe could reduce the time between instant movements and increase the stability of instant movement. You can't escape. A pair of lightning wings condensed on Zhao Feng's back. Broom! With a deafening boom, Zhao Feng instantly closed in on the Sky Feather Island Lord. Cold flash. The Sky Feather Island Lord's heart thumped as he immediately used a space escape technique, transforming into a cold and sinister streak of light. Huh, now that I've caught up, you won't be able to escape. Zhao Feng sneered. After chasing for a while, Zhao Feng once more used instant movement to catch up to the Sky Feather Island Lord. So what if you can catch up to me? You can't kill me. The Sky Feather Island Lord ignored Zhao Feng and fled at full speed. First of all, instant movement consumed an enormous amount of energy, and Zhao Feng could not use it indefinitely. Second of all, the robe Zhao Feng was wearing was a support-type divine artifact. With Zhao Feng's cultivation level, the attacks he used were not enough to pose much of a threat to him. Based on the Sky Feather Island Lord's conjecture, the man with the pitch-black staff had probably consumed too much energy from using a supreme-quality divine artifact. Perhaps there were some side effects that prevented him from using it again, so he had not appeared. Thus, the Sky Feather Island Lord had a very high chance of surviving. Is that so? Zhao Feng questioned, his left eye immediately turning. Swish! Countless arcs of white lightning flashed through Zhao Feng's left eye, and destruction intent surged out along with powerful soul ripples. Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame. Crack. A twisting ball of tribulation lightning imprint, like a blazing flame, suddenly struck the Sky Feather Island Lord's head. Although Zhao Feng's will was weak and Soul Eye bloodline techniques could not harm him, the damage of the Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame was related to the number of Tribulation Lightning. The more Tribulation Lightning there was, the more damage it would do to the soul. Ah! The Sky Feather Island Lord's body froze as he screamed. He felt like his soul had entered Tribulation Lightning Hell and was being struck by 10,000 bolts of lightning. Even after using the Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame, the ripples of eye bloodline power from Zhao Feng's left eye did not stop. Bzzzzz. A rippling whirlpool slowly appeared on the surface of his left eye. A rippling whirlpool of eye bloodline power silently covered the Sky Feather Island Lord's chest. A crystalline white blade of lightning shot out of the rippling eye bloodline power. It was as long as a person and exuded the frightening aura of Tribulation Lightning. Swoosh! The enormous crystalline white blade of lightning pierced through the Sky Feather Island Lord's body and cut him in half. Tribulation Lightning Eye Slash. Zhao Feng closed his left eye. The Lightning Tribulation Eye Slash was a blade condensed from the power of the Lightning Tribulation. It was extremely destructive. The Tribulation Lightning Eye Slash was the opposite of the Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame. It was a physical Tribulation Lightning Eye technique, but it could still damage the soul. Whoosh! With a wave of his long robe, Zhao Wang appeared. Using the Death Divine artifact consecutively consumed a lot of Zhao Wang's energy, and his mind was distorted to a certain extent. But in order to ensure that he could kill the Sky Feather Island Lord, Zhao Feng still needed to borrow Zhao Wang's Staff of Death Curse. Death Black Hole. Zhao Wang activated the Staff of Death Curse. Xiao. The eye on the Staff of Death Curse resonated with the Eye of Death and shot out a cloud of black mist that emitted an evil aura of death and curse. Hu. The black mist directly latched onto the Sky Feather Island Lord's soul. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The black hole of death instantly absorbed the Sky Feather Island Lord's soul energy. The Sky Feather Island Lord's body had been cleaved in two by Zhao Feng, leaving behind only his spiritual body. Therefore, the power of the black hole of death was completely used on the soul. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The Sky Feather Island Lord's soul energy was rapidly sucked away. The weaker the soul, the harder it was to struggle free. Arg! I'm not willing. The Sky Feather Island Lord's soul hoarsely howled. In the end, all the power of his soul was absorbed by the death black hole. The Sky Feather Island Lord was dead. It truly is very troublesome to kill a true god who is much stronger than you. Zhao Feng sighed. He had only been able to kill the Sky Feather Island Lord this time thanks to these two divine artifacts. However, these two divine artifacts were not complete. Zhao Feng and Zhao Wang were unable to use their true power. Bzzzzz. Spatial ripples appeared in the air, and Zhao Feng's figure disappeared with a leap. In the sky, a pitch-black dragon several hundred feet long coiled in the sky. You're seeking death. The black destruction serpent dragon furiously roared. What ancient race is this? A black serpent dragon? What a terrifying bloodline. The true gods below couldn't help but tremble. The terrifying bloodline suppression made it almost impossible for them to circulate their bloodlines. Since Zhao Feng and the Sky Feather Island Lord hadn't returned for a long time, true god Guisha encouraged some true gods to work together and counterattack. In the end, some true gods agreed to fight back against the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon and Zhao Wang. Sword of sharp metal, spear of ice, hammer of thick earth. Zhao Wang circulated the eyes of myriad forms. The world around him was filled with the power of nature, and attacks were everywhere. The eyes of myriad forms of a descendant of one of the 8 great god eyes. The rank 1 true gods who were fighting back were all stunned and groaning. They realized that they had still underestimated Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng's 2 subordinates were extremely strong, and their bloodlines were extremely powerful. Let's go. True God Guisha saw that the situation wasn't right and decided to abandon these true gods and escape alone. But a moment later, a spatial ripple appeared next to him. Swish! Zhao Feng's figure suddenly leapt out of the void. Sky-destroying sacred lightning palm. Zhao Feng circulated his 5 elements divine power and unleashed a palm of 5-colored lightning. Broom! Lightning crackled across heaven and earth, and the 5-colored lightning palm was like a mountain of lightning as it landed on true God Gisha's body. Boom! Pine! Pine! True God Gisha's body crackled with lightning as he flew backward and smashed into the ground far away. Hiss! The bodies of the other true gods froze, and their souls trembled in fear. This attack had heavily injured true God Guisha. This attack was purely Zhao Feng's own power. Furthermore, if Zhao Feng returned, didn't that mean that the Sky Feather Island Lord was dead? Master, you've returned. The enormous black serpent dragon in the sky said respectfully. Master. Everyone's souls shook once more. They had always thought that the black destruction serpent dragon was Zhao Feng's friend and helper. They didn't think that it was just Zhao Feng's servant. Kill all those who resist. Zhao Feng's expression was cold, and his words were shocking. Yes. The black destruction serpent dragon and Zhao Wan moved at the same time. Arg! Screams filled the air and shook everyone's soul. In the end, even true God Guisha died in front of everyone. Senior Zhao, spare us. We were forced to come here to trap you. The remaining true gods immediately begged Zhao Feng for mercy. From now on, I am the master of Sky Feather Island. Zhao Feng looked at the remaining 9 rank 1 true gods and announced. Yes, yes. The true god experts hurriedly agreed. However, they were all guessing in their hearts. Had the Sky Feather Island Lord really been killed by Zhao Feng? Senior. Zhao Feng. True God Skyfire excitedly called out. True God Skyfire had never been so excited before. Recruiting Zhao Feng might have been the best decision he had ever made in his life. Go and take back what belongs to the Blazing Fire Golden Sheep race. Zhao Feng looked at True God Skyfire and said. Although True God Skyfire was also one of the people that had surrounded Zhao Feng, he had never attacked Zhao Feng. Yes. True God Skyfire's expression turned to shock. The other True God experts also seemed to think of something. In the competition for the Exchange Spiritual Hall, the Blazing Fire Golden Sheep race's representative, Zhao Feng, had clearly won, but the Sky Feather Island Lord's people had interfered. In the end, Zhao Feng was hunted down, and the Exchange Spiritual Hall became the Blue-Eyed Ice Wolf races. Chapter 12:11. In Sky Feather Island, the Blue-Eyed Ice Wolf race was domineering and ambitious. The other factions were worried about them. Now that Zhao Feng had eliminated the faction of the Sky Feather Island Lord, he was going to deal with the Blue-Eyed Ice Wolf race. Thus, the true gods that knew about this were all happy. The strongest faction of Sky Feather Island had been destroyed, and the Blue-Eyed Ice Wolf race wouldn't be any better off. This meant that the other factions would be able to obtain more resources. Let's go, True God Skyfire. Zhao Feng said indifferently. He circulated his power, swept up True God Skyfire, and left. The other True God experts also left. Almost half of Sky Feather Island's true gods had died in this battle. They were already very lucky to be alive. Furthermore, no one would be so bored as to inform the Blue-Eyed Ice Wolf race. If they made Zhao Feng unhappy, they wouldn't be able to bear the consequences. On this day, Zhao Feng and True God Skyfire came to the Exchange Spiritual Hall controlled by the Blue-Eyed Ice Wolf race. Everyone from the Blue-Eyed Ice Wolf race, come out. Floating in the air, Zhao Feng roared. Broom! The buildings of the Exchange Spiritual Hall rumbled and seemed to become unstable. The protective array around the exchange spiritual hall flickered and almost collapsed. The guards around the exchange spiritual hall could feel the strength of Zhao Feng's shout and didn't act rashly. But in their view, the experts of the blue-eyed ice wolf race wouldn't let Zhao Feng off if he dared to act so impudently in the exchange spiritual hall. Swoosh swoosh. In the exchange spiritual hall, a few powerful auras surged out as 5 figures flew out. True God Skyfire, you're so daring to cause trouble in the exchange spiritual hall. Do you still think that the Blazing Fire Golden Sheep race won the competition for the exchange spiritual hall? The demigod Realm Elder who led the group snickered. Zhao Feng and True God Skyfire hadn't even entered the exchange spiritual hall, but the people of the blue-eyed ice wolf race had charged them the moment they arrived. This way, it was only natural that they would attack. It's Zhao Feng. An elder of the blue-eyed ice wolf race stared at Zhao Feng, his entire body trembling as he exclaimed. This elder was the one who had appraised Zhao Feng's auction items. Later on, he had sent out experts from the blue-eyed ice wolf race to assassinate Zhao Feng. Grand Elder, he's Zhao Feng. Another 2 demigods recognized Zhao Feng and exclaimed in fear. The 2 of them had watched the fight for the exchange spiritual hall. Back then, Zhao Feng had defeated Gulan with 1 move. Later on, he had defeated the Sky Feather Island Lord's disciple, Shi Feng. These scenes were engraved in their hearts. Later on, there was even news that Zhao Feng had killed real god Gili. In short, Zhao Feng's strength was unfathomable. The 5 demigods were definitely not a match for Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng. The name Zhao Feng continued to spread through the exchange spiritual hall. Although Zhao Feng had offended the Sky Feather Island Lord, Zhao Feng's reputation was still very famous in Sky Feather Island. He had easily defeated Shi Feng and killed true god Gili. Zhao Feng could be said to be the strongest quasi-god genius in Sky Feather Island. Zhao Feng. The expression of the blue-eyed ice wolf race's Grand Elder changed, and he slightly regretted his words. He had been in seclusion the entire time and didn't know what was happening in the outside world. He only heard some rumors about Zhao Feng after coming out of seclusion. In addition, didn't the true god experts of the race say that Zhao Feng was trapped in the territory of the Sky Feather Island Lord? There were nearly 20 true god experts there, and they had laid down a killing array with the Sky Feather Island Lord personally overseeing it. Even a rank 4 true god would die without a doubt. But why had Zhao Feng appeared here? I came here to cause trouble. I believe that I should have won the competition for the exchange spiritual hall, so this exchange spiritual hall belongs to the Blazing Fire Golden Sheep race. Zhao Feng answered according to the blue-eyed ice wolf race's Grand Elder's words. But at this moment, the 5 demigods of the blue-eyed ice wolf race didn't dare to say a word. They didn't even dare to look directly at Zhao Feng. You deserve to die. Zhao Feng's eyes suddenly focused on one of them. This elder was the person who had appraised Zhao Feng's items for auction. Senior Zhao, spare me. The elder immediately knelt down the moment Zhao Feng's gaze landed on him. Die. Zhao Feng's sole intent condensed into a lightning python that slammed toward the elder. Broom. The other 4 demigods felt like they were in a hell of lightning tribulation. Lightning crackled in the sky, and they were frozen in place, not daring to move. Ah! The elder screamed as his soul was destroyed, and his body fell to the ground. Hiss! The entire exchange spiritual hall was silent. Just how strong was Zhao Feng to instantly kill a demigod expert with a single glance? The other 4 demigods felt their hairs stand on end. If Zhao Feng had intentionally targeted them just now, they would have ended up the same as that demigod. Senior Zhao, please calm your anger. We cannot make the decision on this matter. Please allow us to report this to the Patriarch. The Grand Elder said in a trembling voice. The blue-eyed ice wolf race had 2 true gods. One of them was a rank 1 true god, and he had been killed in the territory of the Sky Feather Island Lord. The other was the patriarch of the blue-eyed ice wolf race, a rank 2 true god. Hurry and have him get over here. Zhao Feng's icy voice rang out. Yes. The Grand Elder's body trembled as he repeatedly nodded. This matter was no longer something he could manage. He could only leave it to the patriarch. True God Sky Fire, let's go in first. Zhao Feng straightforwardly said. The blue-eyed ice wolf race's faction was still some distance away from the exchange spiritual hall. Zhao Feng naturally couldn't just wait here. Swoosh swoosh. Zhao Feng and True God Sky Fire went straight to St. Pearl Tower. All the experts eating there immediately stood up and left. One had to know that if Zhao Feng could instantly kill a demigod expert with a glance, then wouldn't normal mystic light realms be able to instantly kill a bunch of them? At this moment, only Zhao Feng and True God Sky Fire were left in the entire St. Pearl Tower. Guest, what would you like to eat? A waiter nervously walked up to Zhao Feng's table. Bring up a few of your best dishes and a jug of heavenly spring precious wine. Zhao Feng straightforwardly said. He had come here to eat and enjoy himself, so the taste had to be the best. Okay, please wait a moment. The waiter left. It didn't take long before the wine and dishes were served. Meow. The little thieving cat smelled something delicious and immediately came out. Moreover, there was good wine this time. Zhao Feng, thank you for everything you've done for the Blazing Fire Golden Sheep race. True God Sky Fire straightforwardly said. Only the true gods in the Sky Feather Island Lord's territory knew of Zhao Feng's strength. However, Zhao Feng had come to handle such a minor matter for the Blazing Fire Golden Sheep race. It was nothing more than a slight effort. Zhao Feng didn't say anything else and went straight to enjoying the food. Several days later, the patriarch of the blue-eyed ice wolf race rushed over. Patriarch. The eyes of the blue-eyed ice wolf race's grand elder flashed. Zhao Feng had a grudge with the Sky Feather Island Lord, so the Sky Feather Island Lord would definitely not let Zhao Feng off. He was confident that the patriarch had contacted the Sky Feather Island Lord's people before coming. What he didn't know was that the Sky Feather Island Lord had already been killed by Zhao Feng. The other experts in the exchange spiritual hall did not leave. They were also waiting to watch the show. However, what they didn't expect was, the first thing the patriarch of the blue-eyed ice wolf race did upon arriving at St. Pearl Tower was to kneel. Thump. A rank 2 true god kneeled in front of Zhao Feng. Senior Zhao, what happened back then was the fault of the blue-eyed ice wolf race. My race is willing to hand over the exchange spiritual hall and become Senior Zhao's subordinate faction, serving Senior Zhao for the rest of our lives. The patriarch of the blue-eyed ice wolf race immediately begged. When he received the Grand Elder's message, he immediately tried to contact the Sky Feather Island Lord's people, but he discovered that he couldn't get in touch with any of them. In the end, he learned from the true gods of the other factions that the Sky Feather Island Lord's faction had been wiped out by Zhao Feng. What's going on? The people in the exchange spiritual hall who were waiting to watch the show were instantly dumbfounded. The blue-eyed ice wolf race was one of the 5 top-class 4-star factions of Sky Feather Island. But now, a rank 2 true god of the race was kneeling in front of Zhao Feng and admitting his mistake. I don't need someone like you by my side. Zhao Feng coldly said. When Zhao Feng had defeated Gulan in a head-on battle, the patriarch of the blue-eyed ice wolf race had said that Zhao Feng had used despicable methods, even bribing true god Geely to deal with Zhao Feng. Swish. With a wave of his sleeve, Zhao Wang appeared. Black Hole of Death. Zhao Wang activated the Eye of Death and the Staff of Death Curse, shooting out a pitch-black mist. Before the black mist even descended, the blue-eyed ice wolf race patriarch felt like he was going to die. The pitch-black mist transformed into a black hole of death that sucked onto the blue-eyed ice wolf race patriarch's body. Ah! With his strength, he was simply incapable of resisting the power of the Eye of Death and the Staff of Death curse. A few moments later, the blue-eyed ice wolf race patriarch was reduced to a pile of dust. The entire exchange spiritual hall was eerily quiet. Everyone was frozen to the spot, unable to believe what they had just seen. A rank 2 true god of the blue-eyed ice wolf race had been instantly killed without any resistance. Spare me. All the members of the blue-eyed ice wolf race kneeled on the ground, their bodies trembling. Your patriarch is already dead. I won't pursue the grudge from back then. Zhao Feng coldly said. Zhao Feng would soon leave Sky Feather Island, and he couldn't guarantee that the blue-eyed ice wolf race wouldn't attack the blazing fire golden sheep race after he left. Thus, Zhao Feng needed to weaken the blue-eyed ice wolf race by either killing the majority of their upper echelon members or killing their patriarch. In order to avoid a massacre, Zhao Feng only killed one person. Swish. After taking care of this matter, Zhao Feng took Zhao Wang and left the place. After Zhao Feng left, the news that he had killed the blue-eyed ice wolf race patriarch instantly spread. In less than 10 days, it had spread to every corner of Sky Feather Island. It didn't take long for an even more shocking piece of news to spread. Zhao Feng had uprooted the Sky Feather Island Lord's faction. If the first piece of news hadn't spread, no one would have believed it. However, the fact that Zhao Feng was able to live safely on Sky Feather Island proved that the Sky Feather Island Lord's faction had been destroyed by Zhao Feng. From now on, Zhao Feng was the strongest expert of Sky Feather Island. The Blazing Fire Golden Sheep race then moved to the territory of the Sky Feather Island Lord and re-established themselves. After all, there was a low-quality god crystal vein beneath the Sky Feather Island Lord's territory. A single crystal vein was enough to change the future of an entire race. I'm leaving. Standing on the teleportation array, Zhao Feng's figure slowly disappeared. The upper echelon members of the Blazing Fire Golden Sheep race and the Green Jade Sheep race stood around the array. Big brother Zhao Feng, you have to come back and see us. Young Master Lu Yun of the Green Jade Sheep race called out emotionally. Yulin rubbed Lu Yun's head, her eyes misty as she looked at Zhao Feng with complicated emotions. Swish. In the next instant, Zhao Feng's figure completely disappeared from the teleportation array. Chapter 12:12. Blue Ocean Bay was ruled by the Golden Jade race. The bay consisted of nearly 10 islands of various sizes, and Sky Feather Island was one of them. One day, in a certain 4-star faction in Blue Ocean Bay, the teleportation array suddenly flashed with white light. When the light disappeared, a golden-haired man appeared. 2 green-armored guardians stood around the teleportation array, both of them at the demigod level. They not only guarded the teleportation array, but they also knew a little about arrays and were responsible for activating the array. Show your identity. One of the green-armored guardians glanced at Zhao Feng and barked. I'm a subordinate of the Sky Feather Island Lord. Zhao Feng said. Blue Ocean Bay was the territory of the Golden Jade race, and Zhao Feng had killed Qi Feng, offended quasi-god Di Lin, and even fought with many true gods of the Golden Jade race. When the precious treasures appeared, Zhao Feng even ordered the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon and the others to steal the treasures from the Golden Jade race. One could say that the members of the Golden Jade race hated Zhao Feng to the bone. But the Golden Jade race would probably never imagine that Zhao Feng was in the territory ruled by the Golden Jade race. Swish. Zhao Feng took out a white token. Zhao Feng had obtained this token from the interspatial dimension of the Sky Feather Island Lord and his brothers. This token represented Sky Feather Island and could be used in Blue Ocean Bay. After proving his identity, Zhao Feng prepared to leave. Wait. You are currently in Blue Sky Island's Iron Ghost Gate. If you want to leave, you need to pay 20 low-quality god crystals. The green-armored guard from before stopped Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng was slightly taken aback. 20 low-quality god crystals was not very precious to ordinary demigods, but it was not a small number either. However, a late-stage mystic light realm wouldn't be able to take out 20 low-quality god crystals. For this reason, Zhao Feng guessed that there was no such rule. These people were just using their strength to bully the weak. The ancient desolate realm of gods was filled with profit and oppression. Scram! Zhao Feng coldly snorted and unleashed a powerful physical force of lightning Dao. Rumble! A domain of 5-colored lightning appeared around Zhao Feng, and it was accompanied by a physical force of sacred lightning that shook the surrounding area. Thump! Instantly, the 2 green-armored guards were forced to kneel on the ground. Of course, Zhao Feng knew when to stop. He was only trying to intimidate the 2 of them. Sire, please calm down. We have eyes but failed to see. There is no such rule in the Iron Ghost sect. The 2 green-armored men immediately changed their words. In that instant, they could conclude that Zhao Feng's strength was at least that of a rank 1 quasi-god. A rank 1 quasi-god was a quasi-god with the strength of a rank 1 true god. However, quasi-gods were a symbol of glory, and the status of a rank 1 quasi-god far surpassed that of a rank 1 true god. Moreover, the higher the level of a quasi-god, the more dazzling this glory would be. For example, quasi-god Heaven Swallower of the heaven-devouring sacred land was a rank 4 quasi-god. If he could directly attain rank 4 of the heavenly divine realm, he would at least become a rank 9 ancient god in the future. However, there were some rank 4 true gods that not even ancient gods could reach. Zhao Feng withdrew his pressure and left. The Golden Jade race doesn't know that I'm in Blue Ocean Bay, so they didn't investigate me. Zhao Feng understood. If the Golden Jade race knew that Zhao Feng was in Blue Ocean Bay, they would definitely issue an arrest warrant. By the time Zhao Feng appeared, he might have already been surrounded by the factions here. However, the Golden Jade race wasn't the only one that wanted to kill Zhao Feng. Only the Gulong Zone, the Yangling Zone, and the Tianyun Zone had entered the wild ancient secret dimension. The factions that Zhao Feng had encountered were basically all from the Gulong Zone. As long as I leave the Gulong Zone, I'll be safe. Even so, the entire Gulong Zone was vast and boundless. There were at least 34.5-star factions like Blue Ocean Bay in the entire Gulong Zone. From this, one could imagine just how insignificant the Sky Feather Island that Zhao Feng had been on was. 4-star factions like the Sky Feather Island Lord only control small-scale teleportation arrays, while 4.5-star factions control large-scale teleportation arrays that travel slightly further. Before Zhao Feng left, he had made some inquiries. This meant that if Zhao Feng wanted to be safe, he could use the small-scale teleportation arrays of 4.5-star factions. If he wanted to quickly leave the Gulong Zone, he would need to use the large-scale teleportation arrays of 4.5-star factions, or even 5-star factions. This would save him at least 5 times the time. However, these large-scale teleportation arrays were all controlled by 4.5-star, peak, and 5-star factions. For one thing, Zhao Feng had offended too many factions, so he had to be cautious. For another, Zhao Feng didn't have any status, so he couldn't use these teleportation arrays. For example, Zhao Feng had only teleported from Sky Feather Island to another large island, but the guards had demanded Zhao Feng to show his identity. Otherwise, they wouldn't have let Zhao Feng go so easily. Let's leave Blue Ocean Bay first. The token of Sky Feather Island could only be used in Blue Ocean Bay, so Zhao Feng had to leave Blue Ocean Bay first. 10 some days later, Zhao Feng stood on a teleportation array in an ancient building. I'm about to leave Blue Ocean Bay. Zhao Feng muttered. After passing through this teleportation array, Zhao Feng would be completely out of Blue Ocean Bay's territory. At this moment, the teleportation array next to Zhao Feng flashed with a white light. Swish! 3 figures appeared within it. 2 youths in embroidered robes and 1 elder in golden robes. It's you. One of the youths looked at Zhao Feng in extreme shock. A few moments later, the youth revealed an enraged expression, his eyes seething with killing intent. This person was none other than quasi-god Di Lin. Of course, Zhao Feng was also stunned for a few moments. He hadn't expected to run into quasi-god Di Lin just as he was about to leave Blue Ocean Bay. But by the time quasi-god Di Lin reacted, Zhao Feng had already been teleported away. "What's wrong, quasi-god Di Lin?" Another young man with a chiseled face and a slightly tough face asked. "That person just now targeted the Golden Jade race in the wild primordial mystic dimension. He even stole their resources." Quasi-god Di Lin revealed Zhao Feng's crimes. In the end, the Golden Jade race's harvest in the wild ancient secret dimension was less than ideal compared to the other factions. True God Tianhua even personally came to reprimand him. Because of quasi-god Di Lin, the Golden Jade race lost 2 rank 3 true gods to Zhao Feng. Later on, Zhao Feng's team even targeted the Golden Jade race. "Let's chase. We can't let this person go," quasi-god Di Lin immediately said. The 3 of them stepped onto the teleportation array that Zhao Feng had used to leave. "Who is this person? Why is he in the territory of my Golden Jade race?" the tough-looking young man asked in bewilderment. Based on what quasi-god Di Lin had said, Zhao Feng was an enemy of the Golden Jade race. Wasn't it strange for someone like this to appear in the territory of the Golden Jade race? One had to realize that in all of Blue Ocean Bay, only the Golden Jade race could connect to the wild ancient secret dimension. This. Quasi-god Di Lin's expression froze. Why would Zhao Feng appear in the territory of the Golden Jade race? When he saw Zhao Feng just now, his mind was in a mess, and he had never thought of this possibility. "We'll know once we capture this person. Moreover, this person has quite a few treasures on him. With true God Di Hai's strength, we can easily capture him," quasi-god Di Lin said to the elder next to him. "Oh." The elder originally didn't care too much because the other party was only a quasi-god. But the meaning of quasi-god Di Lin's words was very clear. If they wanted to capture this brat, they needed him to do it. For this reason, true God Di Hai was rather surprised. "Hurry and activate the teleportation array." Quasi-god Di Lin barked at the guard next to him. "Yes, yes." The guard immediately placed several low-quality god crystals in and activated the array. The 3 people in front of him were members of the Golden Jade race, the rulers of Blue Ocean Bay. He did not dare to be negligent. Swish. The 3 members of the Golden Jade race followed closely behind Zhao Feng and left. By the time the 3 members of the Golden Jade race appeared on another teleportation array, the 3 of them flew into the sky, but they found no trace of Zhao Feng. "They're rather fast at escaping." Quasi-god Di Lin coldly snorted. "Which direction did the golden-haired man who just came out of this place go?" Quasi-god Di Lin asked the guard next to the ancient array. "The east." The moment the guard finished speaking, true God Di Hai took the other 2 and vanished into the horizon in a streak of dark golden light. After flying for some time, true God Di Hai stopped. "I don't sense any ripples of energy. The direction doesn't seem right." True God Di Hai's brow creased. If Zhao Feng was fleeing, he would definitely need to use some powerful secret flying technique, so there would definitely be some energy left in the world. But true God Di Hai did not notice anything strange along the way. However, the guards there were also unwilling to believe that they would be tricked. "We actually let him get away." Quasi-god Di Lin clenched his fists and grunted. "Let's continue on our way. You didn't come out to play." The rank 5 true god said to quasi-god Di Lin and the other youth. The 2 nodded, their expressions flickering. They came out this time because they had a mission to complete. Swoosh! 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 The 3 of them left. After a long while, a phantom appeared in the air where the 3 members of the Golden Jade race had left. Swoosh! Zhao Feng's figure slowly emerged. I actually ran into quasi-god Di Lin. Zhao Feng sighed. To run into quasi-god Di Lin just when he was about to leave the territory of the Golden Jade race, his luck was truly terrible. If he didn't know instant movement and had the space-time robe, he really might have died at the hands of the Golden Jade race. Swoosh! Zhao Feng put away the space-time robe in his interspatial dimension. The space-time robe was of the same quality as the Staff of Death Curse, a supreme quality divine artifact. He could not carelessly reveal it in the outside world, or else he would be met with another calamity. I can only change directions. Zhao Feng decided to change directions. After flying for several months, Zhao Feng finally arrived at a 4-star faction. Without strength, it truly is hard to advance. Zhao Feng sighed. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon had said that if Zhao Feng wanted to find Zhao Yufei, he would need at least 1,000 years. Now, Zhao Feng believed it. With Zhao Feng's current strength, crossing zones was extremely difficult, let alone when he was only at the late stage of the Mystic Light realm. Using the teleportation array of a 4-star faction, Zhao Feng continued on his way. One day, Zhao Feng appeared in an ancient golden tower. The moment he appeared, Zhao Feng sensed a heaven-shaking ripple of intent. Boom! Bang! Crash! Dreadful explosions assailed Zhao Feng's ears. As far as the eye could see, the distant horizon was shrouded in a layer of ice, lightning, wind, and fire. This is a faction war. Zhao Feng guessed at a few things. The faction war in the ancient desolate realm of gods was completely different from that of the continent zone. Even from millions of li away, Zhao Feng could sense the dreadful intensity of the battle. Whoosh! 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 A small group of brown-armored soldiers charged at Zhao Feng's faction. Kill everyone here. The leader immediately ordered. Chapter 12-13. Kill everyone here. The captain of the team emotionlessly ordered. This team consisted of 6 people. The captain was a rank 3 true god while the rest were all rank 1 true gods. Zhao Feng scanned the faction he had teleported to. At this moment, there were only a few rank 1 true gods, a small number of demigods, and Mystic Light Realm experts. There were also those below the Mystic Light Realm that were old and weak. It seems like this isn't a battle between ordinary 4-star factions. It should be a battle between 4.5-star factions. Zhao Feng guessed. A battle between ordinary 4-star factions wouldn't have so many true god experts in a small team. Moreover, the scale of the battle in the distance was also heaven-shaking. There were at least 20 to 30 true god experts participating in the battle. If it's a 4.5-star faction, then this is the territory of Spirit Grass Gate. After killing the Sky Feather Island Lord and his 2 brothers, Zhao Feng had obtained a new map and gained some understanding of the factions around Blue Ocean Bay. Since this was a battle between 4.5-star factions, the 4-star factions under their jurisdiction also had to participate. The 4-star faction that Zhao Feng had teleported to was a member of the terrifying 4.5-star battlefield. All of its experts had probably gone to the battlefield. Swish! An ancient bronze compass appeared in the hand of the captain of the team. The captain clapped his hand, and a transparent yellow screen of light burst forth from the compass, shooting straight into the sky. Once this yellow screen reached a certain height, it began to spread out, ultimately forming a faint yellow barrier that engulfed the entire faction. Whoosh! 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 The entire team charged into the faction and began a massacre. Charge! Kill these scoundrels! The remaining members of the faction immediately charged forward, all of them unafraid of death. However, they were too weak and no match for this team. Charging forward would only result in their deaths. The strong eat the weak. Zhao Feng sighed as he calmly retreated. This matter had nothing to do with him, and he couldn't do anything even if he wanted to. The two sides fighting were 4.5-star factions with ancient gods presiding over them. There's a demigod over there. A rank 1 true god in the group had an excited smile on his face as he approached Zhao Feng. The battle between the two forces was decided by the number of people killed. For rank 1 true gods, demigods were the best prey. I just happened to use the teleportation formation to come here. I'm not a member of this force. Zhao Feng looked at the rank 1 true god and immediately explained. Hee. Don't try to fool me. You are from the Spirit Grass Gate. The rank 1 true god paused for a moment before giving a wicked smile. Zhao Feng had indeed appeared near the teleportation array, and judging from Zhao Feng's physical characteristics and aura, he didn't seem to be from an enemy force. However, the other party was just a demigod, so it was fine to kill him. He could even exchange it for battle merits. If he had to blame something, he could only blame his bad luck for directly teleporting to the sphere of influence of Spirit Grass Gate without inquiring about the situation. Kill. The rank 1 true god waved the halberd in his hand and fiercely slashed at Zhao Feng. Roar. An enormous dark yellow dragon blocked out the sun and roared as it charged at Zhao Feng. Preposterous. Zhao Feng's expression chilled. Even if he was a member of Spirit Grass Gate, this person could have investigated his identity first. However, this person had chosen to kill him, not caring which faction Zhao Feng belonged to. The enormous dark yellow dragon was about to swallow up Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng extended a palm and lightly clenched it. Broom. 5 elements' intent fused with the world, and when combined with Zhao Feng's intent, it formed an enormous majestic power. In a flash, the entire world seemed to stand on Zhao Feng's side. The terrifying majestic power condensed into a pair of 5-colored palms that gripped the dark yellow dragon. Bang! With an explosion, the dark yellow dragon was pulverized by Zhao Feng. What? The rank 1 true god was frozen to the spot like a wooden chicken. His attack had been so easily countered by his foe. A quasi-god was definitely a rank 2 quasi-god, or else how could he be this strong? In a 4.5-star faction, a rank 2 quasi-god could be considered a peerless genius. I said before, I was just passing by. Zhao Feng coldly said to the rank 1 true god. Zhao Feng turned and left. Stay behind. At this moment, a roar charged at Zhao Feng. A brown figure exuding an astonishing physical pressure charged at Zhao Feng. What's the meaning of this? Zhao Feng looked at the brown figure. This was the captain of the team, a rank 3 true god. Of all the rank 2 quasi-gods of the nearby factions, I've never seen you before. The rank 3 true god stared with blazing eyes at Zhao Feng. He had never seen a rank 2 quasi-god like Zhao Feng in Spirit Grass Gate or the nearby 4.5-star factions. How vast is the world? There's always someone better and a mountain better. Zhao Feng flatly said. Humph, come back with me first. If you're not a member of Spirit Grass Gate, Yellow Dragon Pavilion will let you go. The rank 3 true god coldly barked. Zhao Feng's expression darkened. There was no way he could investigate his identity. Moreover, Zhao Feng was confident that as long as his opponent found out that he wasn't a member of a 4.5-star faction, they wouldn't let him go so easily. Come with me. Seeing that Zhao Feng didn't reply, the rank 3 true god immediately attacked. Boom! His entire body surged with a layer of dark yellow scales, summoning the earth energy of the world. He towered in front of Zhao Feng like a majestic mountain. The rank 1 true god vomited blood in the face of this terrifying physical pressure and swiftly retreated. Since you want to fight, then let's fight. Zhao Feng had also lost his patience. There was only one rank 3 true god in this team. There was no way they could do anything to him. But now that he had offended this faction, Zhao Feng would probably have to take a detour again. But even if he didn't offend them, these two factions were at war, so it would be very difficult for Zhao Feng to use their teleportation arrays. Swish! Swish! Zhao Feng's body instantly grew taller, and a layer of five-colored lightning exploded around Zhao Feng. They were both body-refining cultivators, but when Zhao Feng revealed his physical body, the energy of the world began to converge on Zhao Feng. This was because Zhao Feng's five elements divine power contained the five elements intent, making it more compatible with nature. Die. The rank 3 true god saw that Zhao Feng was also a body-refining cultivator, and that Zhao Feng's level was slightly higher than his own, and his complexion instantly turned ugly. Yellow Dragon battles the heavens. The rank 3 true god punched out with both hands, unleashing a sinister, earthen yellow dragon that was almost tangible. Sky-destroying sacred lightning palm. Circulating his five elements divine power, Zhao Feng thrust out a palm, unleashing a five-colored mountain of lightning. Broom! The five-colored mountain of lightning contained destructive energy that pierced through the yellow dragon and slammed into the rank 3 true god's chest. Thump! The rank 3 true god took half a step back in a daze. How could this be? The rank 3 true god mentally questioned in shock. Although he hadn't used his full strength, how could a rank 2 quasi-god so easily shatter his technique? Could this person be a rank 3 quasi-god? Rank 3 quasi-gods were normally supreme geniuses of peak 4-star factions. Why had this person appeared here? Moreover, if this person was a rank 3 quasi-god, he truly couldn't be a member of Spirit Grass Gate. Good sir, please forgive me. You truly are not a member of Spirit Grass Gate. This one was blind. The rank 3 true god immediately apologized to Zhao Feng. This was because Zhao Feng was probably backed by a peak 4-star faction, perhaps even stronger. And the Yellow Dragon Pavilion behind him was only a slightly stronger 4.5-star faction, still very far from being a peak 4-star faction. This is. The rank 3 true god's gaze fell into the depths of the earth. His fierce clash with Zhao Feng had flattened this part of the earth. At this moment, a hard stone slab had been exposed in a certain place underground. There seemed to be array inscriptions on this slab. So you were hiding here. The rank 3 true god looked down into the ground, took out a message token, and immediately sent a message. Good sir, I wronged you. In the future, Yellow Dragon Pavilion will definitely pay a visit and apologize. My Yellow Dragon Pavilion is currently at war with Spirit Grass Gate. If good sir has nothing else to do, please leave as soon as possible and do not approach the battlefield. The rank 3 true god smiled at Zhao Feng. If he hadn't accidentally exposed his target in his battle with Zhao Feng, he would have missed out on this opportunity. It was obvious that there was a special chamber underground, and this chamber was surrounded by an illusion array that concealed its aura. Divine sense and ordinary tools were simply incapable of detecting it. As long as he could capture his target this time, he would have done a great service. An elderly sigh came from the depths of the earth. Two figures soared into the sky, exuding an enormous pressure that left Zhao Feng slightly alarmed. One of them was a rank 4 true god, wearing a dark green robe and exuding an astonishing aura. Next to him was a woman dressed in green. Her hair was like willow branches, her skin was fair and supple, and her green eyes were intelligent and brimming with vitality. From a distance, this woman was surrounded by a thick natural vitality, making her seem like a princess of the forest. The green-robed woman suddenly turned to Zhao Feng, a hint of sorrow in her eyes. Zhao Feng was slightly stunned. This woman's appearance was like a perfect work of art, but it was impossible for anyone to profane her. In particular, when he met her eyes, Zhao Feng's mind instantly calmed down. Humph. The green-robed elder glanced at Zhao Feng, his eyes suffused with cold killing intent. If not for Zhao Feng's sudden appearance in his battle with a rank 3 true god, they might have been able to avoid this search and escape. Zhao Feng also seemed to understand something. This team was so strict and unwilling to let him go because they had an important target. And he seemed to have helped them by exposing this important target. Senior, please don't blame me. This junior didn't mean to. Zhao Feng said apologetically. This was definitely an accident. Let's go, Ning. Although the elder hated Zhao Feng, he did not attack Zhao Feng. Instead, he took the woman and swiftly left. However, right at this moment, an enormous oppressive might came from the distant horizon. Broom! A thick layer of dark yellow clouds pressed down, and the whole world seemed to fall into darkness. Everyone inside felt an inexplicable pressure and uneasiness. Where do you think you're going? An old man with dark yellow skin and a long tail stood on top of the clouds. True God Zhongtu. The green-robed elder glanced at the true God expert and grimaced. True God Zhongtu was a rank 5 true God of Yellow Dragon Pavilion. You've already reached the end of your rope. Eye of Life. True God Zhongtu's gaze landed on the green-robed woman. Chapter 12-14. The Eye of Life. Zhao Feng's eyes widened in shock as he once more examined the woman. She floated in the air, but she exuded an otherworldly and untainted divine aura. The world was dark and seething with killing intent, but the area around her was filled with life and tranquility. As it turned out, she possessed the Eye of Life, one of the descendants of the 8 great God Eyes. The Eye of Life was one of the weaker descendants of the 8 great God Eyes. However, it was rumored that as long as one's soul was not destroyed, the Eye of Life could easily heal any injury or disease. Moreover, wars between the various factions of the ancient desolate realm of gods would occasionally break out. If a descendant of the Eye of Life was helping them from the rear, all the members of that faction would essentially have an immortal body, and their fighting power would multiply. For this reason, a descendant of the Eye of Life was even more useful to a faction than a God Eye descendant with stronger fighting power. I just knew that Han Ning, still hasn't left the territory of Spirit Grass Gate. True God Zhongtu looked at Han Ning, and laughed at the sky. In the battle between Yellow Dragon Pavilion and Spirit Grass Gate had secretly sent away its direct descendants. One reason was to disperse Yellow Dragon Pavilion's manpower, and the other was to conceal Han Ning, As long as they could successfully send Han Ning, away, Spirit Grass Gate would rise once more. However, Yellow Dragon Pavilion was certain that Spirit Grass Gate would not let Han Ning, take such a risk and would definitely hide her in some place within Spirit Grass Gate's territory. Once the matter was over, they would secretly send her away. For this reason, Yellow Dragon Pavilion had been searching the territory of Spirit Grass Gate this entire time. The green-robed elder glanced at Han Ning, and then closed his eyes in thought. Elder, there's nothing else we can do. Han Ning's light and pleasant voice rang out. Her expression was indifferent as if she didn't fear death at all. What? You still want to resist at this stage? True God Zhongtu looked at the green-robed elder and Han Ning, with a playful smile. Han Ning, now that things have reached this stage, this old man can only hand you over. The green-robed elder suddenly opened his eyes, condensing an invisible intent that completely restrained Han Ning. Faced with this situation, Han Ning only looked at the green-robed elder quietly with her dark green eyes. She did not say anything. A wise man submits to circumstances. If you are willing to hand over Han Ning and pledge allegiance to the Yellow Dragon Pavilion, the Pavilion Master will not mistreat you. True God Zhongtu heartily laughed. However, at that moment, a voice echoed in Zhao Feng's mind. Young man, help me send Ning, to the Xiling Zone. With Han Ning's Eye of Life bloodline talent, she'll definitely be able to join a 5-star faction, and maybe even a God Realm's sacred land. When the time comes, you won't lack benefits. The green-robed old man calmly transmitted his voice to Zhao Feng. Senior, you think too highly of me. Zhao Feng transmitted his voice. The green-robed old man lured Zhao Feng with the help of a 5-star faction and a god realm holy land. Once Zhao Feng succeeded, he would be able to form a relationship with a 5-star faction or even a god realm sacred land. This was something that many people dreamed of. But even if Han Ning had the Eye of Life, a god realm sacred land was not something that Zhao Feng could interact with just because he wanted to. Your talent isn't bad, so you should be a disciple of some major faction. If Ning is willing, the two of you can become partners. There are only benefits to you. The green-robed elder continued. He had just witnessed Zhao Feng's strength and knew that it was extraordinary. Crucially, in the current situation, the green-robed elder could only place his hopes on Zhao Feng. He was even using Han Ning herself as a bargaining chip. If any other man saw Han Ning's beauty and demeanor, they would probably agree and swear to protect this goddess of life with their lives. If Zhao Feng was a genius of some major faction, it would be even better. Once Zhao Feng married Han Ning, he might even be able to save Spirit Grass Gate. Alas, Zhao Feng was not. Senior, you think too highly of me. I'm alone, and I even have many enemies. Zhao Feng messaged. He was not a genius of some major faction, and he didn't even dare to be too ostentatious in the Gulong zone. The green-robed elder sighed and began to circulate his intent energy, apparently preparing to hand Han Ning over to true God Zhongtu. But your situation is also because of me, and my goal this time is also the Xiling zone. Zhao Feng continued. Everything he said was true. The green-robed elder and Han Ning had only been exposed because Zhao Feng had inadvertently done so. In addition, based on the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's memories, the spiritual race that Zhao Yufei resided in was also in the Xiling zone. This meant that there was no conflict of routes. Moreover, there were far too many factions that wanted to deal with Zhao Feng, so one more Yellow Dragon Pavilion was nothing. Moreover, Yellow Dragon Pavilion was in the middle of a war with Spirit Grass Gate, so they probably wouldn't be able to spare much fighting power to deal with him. Hurry and hand it over. True God Zhongtu stared at the green-robed elder, a cold smile on his face. Okay. The green-robed elder replied. Circulating his intent energy, he tossed Han Ning over, but his target was Zhao Feng. The moment he tossed Han Ning over, the green-robed elder's body began to blaze with an enormous amount of divine power. Kaboom! Waves roiled across the blue sea as the green-robed elder's power continued to rise. Humph, old scoundrel, you don't know what's good for you. You're harming this young man. True God Zhongtu bellowed, his voice surging like a tsunami that struck deep into everyone's hearts. He was hinting at Zhao Feng and advising Zhao Feng to act rationally. At the same time, True God Zhongtu was using the powerful pressure of a rank 5 True God to intimidate Zhao Feng. At the same time, the captain of the team and the other rank 1 True Gods flew toward Zhao Feng. Let's go. Zhao Feng circulated his intent energy and engulfed Han Ning. Swish. A pair of golden wings condensed on his back, and Zhao Feng transformed into a faint golden streak of light and vanished. This junior. True God Zhongtu was rather surprised. A space sealing technique had already been laid down in this area. If Zhao Feng had used a spatial escape technique, he would have definitely failed, but Zhao Feng had used a secret flying technique as if he had predicted this would happen. In addition, Zhao Feng's speed far surpassed that of an ordinary rank 3 True God. After him. True God Zhongtu bellowed. Don't even think about it. The green-robed elder looked death in the eye and attacked True God Zhongtu with a heaven-shaking momentum. Zhao Feng was even stronger than the rank 3 True God captain. As long as he could hold down True God Zhongtu, Han Ning would have a chance of survival. Blue clouds connect the heavens. The green-robed elder roared as his attack descended. Broom! Layer after layer of crystalline green palms imbued with powerful water and wood intent swept toward True God Zhongtu like waves of clouds. Seeking death, you old scoundrel. True God Zhongtu angrily roared as he circulated his divine power and unleashed an astonishing dark yellow dragon. This was supposed to be a great achievement, but now that Han Ning had escaped, True God Zhongtu was naturally furious. Moreover, he hadn't expected for a trifling quasi-god like Zhao Feng to dare to agree to the green-robed elder's request to escort Han Ning. Hold down that brat and wait for reinforcements. True God Zhongtu messaged the captain of the team. Zhao Feng was very fast, and he wasn't counting on the rank 3 True God to capture Zhao Feng. As long as he didn't lose him, he could wait for reinforcements to arrive. Yes. The rank 3 True God closely followed Zhao Feng. Instant movement. Zhao Feng surged with space intent as he leaped into the air with Han Ning. He can even use instant movement. The rank 3 True God was flabbergasted. It was rare for a quasi-god to be able to use instant movement in the ancient desolate realm of gods. One had to realize that some rank 2 and rank 3 True Gods had not comprehended space intent and could not use instant movement. Moreover, Zhao Feng was carrying someone else and using instant movement. He truly wasn't afraid of death. One more person meant one more burden. If one didn't have enough strength, they might end up trapped in a spatial crack and die without a grave. I can also use instant movement. The rank 3 True God sneered as he used instant movement to jump into the air. In his previous exchange with Zhao Feng, he had lost to Zhao Feng. At the time, he had believed that Zhao Feng was some genius of some powerful faction. But now, it seemed like Zhao Feng was just a lone traveler. In this way, Zhao Feng had offended Yellow Dragon Pavilion and was doomed. Swish! Zhao Feng leaped out of the air, hastily condensing a pair of lightning wings as he flew through the air. Using instant movement while carrying someone shortens the distance, but it also consumes a lot of energy. Zhao Feng silently cursed. Fortunately, his space intent had reached level 2, or else his instant movement might have failed. Moreover, Zhao Feng could not recklessly use the spacetime robe while roaming the outside world. Swish! A moment later, the rank 3 True God emerged from the place Zhao Feng had fled. This kid definitely has some secret on him. The rank 3 True God fell into deep thought as he gave chase. If Zhao Feng could carry someone and use instant movement, he definitely had some sort of supportive treasure. In addition, Zhao Feng was a lone traveler, but he had the strength of a rank 3 True God. All these signs indicated that Zhao Feng had probably obtained some sort of astonishing legacy. Young master, this lowly one is Han Ning. Many thanks to benefactor for saving me, but if you carry me, it will be even more difficult to escape. We won't be able to shake off that True God, and once reinforcements from Yellow Dragon Pavilion arrive, both of us will be buried here. Han Ning looked at Zhao Feng and gave an apologetic explanation. Her voice was like the gurgling of a spring or the chirping of a bird, extremely soothing to listen to. In truth, Han Ning was also very surprised that Zhao Feng had the strength of a rank 3 True God and could even carry her with instant movement. This was her first time seeing such a stunning quasi-god genius. That's true. Zhao Feng simply said. That rank 3 True God could use instant movement and would not be so easy to shake off. Broom! The lightning wings on Zhao Feng's back exploded with lightning energy. In a flash of lightning, Zhao Feng turned in the air and began to fly toward the rank 3 True God. Han Ning was taken aback. Was Zhao Feng planning to send her away? Spirit Grass Gate had sacrificed countless lives so that Han Ning could escape. Han Ning was extremely unwilling, but there was nothing she could do. She had seen far too many people die for her, so Han Ning no longer feared death. In fact, death was fine, as it would end all troubles and save her from further torment. The rank 3 True God was also stunned to see Zhao Feng suddenly fly toward him. But a moment later, Zhao Feng threw Han Ning, to the side and activated his sacred lightning body, Blood Devil's Sun bloodline, and 5 elements divine power to attack. Rather than being chased, it's better to kill you first. Zhao Feng's face was cold as he began to circulate eye intent in his left eye. Han Ning's petite mouth instantly dropped open as she stared in disbelief at Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng had rushed back not to give her to Yellow Dragon Pavilion, but to kill this rank 3 true god. Chapter 12-15. Kill me. The rank 3 true god of Yellow Dragon Pavilion froze for a moment, and then he sneered. Although he had exchanged blows with Zhao Feng earlier and was at a disadvantage, this did not mean that Zhao Feng had the ability to kill him. Let me see just how you'll kill me. The rank 3 true god gave a playful smile. Zhao Feng was strong, had many tricks up his sleeve, and might even have a powerful divine weapon. Even if he was no match for Zhao Feng, if he focused on running, could Zhao Feng chase him down and kill him? One had to realize that in the current situation, Zhao Feng was being pursued by Yellow Dragon Pavilion. In addition, Zhao Feng's ignorance and impulsiveness were exactly what he wanted. He just needed to hold down Zhao Feng for a while until Yellow Dragon Pavilion's reinforcements arrived. When the time came, Zhao Feng would find it impossible to escape. Boom! The rank 3 true god's body suddenly grew larger, and a layer of dark yellow scales appeared on his body. He was like a majestic mountain that summoned the energy of earth. Sky-destroying sacred lightning palm. Zhao Feng gathered his strength and unleashed a palm of 5-colored lightning. The palm was as massive as a mountain, crackling with lightning. This time, Zhao Feng had fused the energy of 5 elements intent into it. Metal, wood, water, fire, and earth intents. Although each intent was only at level 1, the power of the combination of these intents could not be underestimated. Boom! Hiss! As the 5-colored palm moved forward, it summoned the energy of 5 elements intent and fused it into its body, increasing the power of the palm. What powerful intent energy! The rank 3 true god was stunned. The palm Zhao Feng was using was exactly the same as the palm technique he had used in his previous fight, but the difference in power was like the difference between the heavens and the earth. This meant that Zhao Feng had been holding back when fighting him. The rank 3 true god was extremely unhappy at this thought. Humph! The rank 3 true god angrily snorted and immediately activated the bloodline in his body. Kaboom! An enormous and heavy power burst forth from his body. The rank 3 true god's body continued to swell until it was half man, half dragon. After activating his bloodline, his huge arms were surrounded by a thick layer of dark yellow scales, and he fiercely punched out. Earth Serpent Dragon Race. Han Ning'er warned from afar. The Earth Serpent Dragon Race was the 2619th of the 10,000 immemorial races. They were known for their strength and defense, and they had a unique understanding of the Earth ultimacy. Boom! Bang! The 5-colored palm of lightning clashed with the rank 3 true god's bloodline, and a terrifying wave of intent surged through the world. Only Han Ning'er, who was at the peak stages of the mystic light realm, felt uncomfortable and had trouble breathing. She immediately retreated tens of thousands of miles away. So powerful, I didn't expect this young man to be so powerful. Han Ning'er's beautiful eyes stared at Zhao Feng. But suddenly, the 5-colored palm of lightning that the rank 3 true god had blocked erupted with a bloody flame that instantly engulfed the rank 3 true god. Furthermore, this flame had a very strong corrosive and burning characteristic, making it extremely difficult to extinguish. Ah, this bloodline power! The rank 3 true god suddenly howled. This bloodline seemed to be even stronger than his Earth Serpent Dragon race bloodline. As he was burned by this flame, he felt like his bloodline was on fire. It was extremely uncomfortable, and the energy and blood in his body were still being drained away. One had to realize that Zhao Feng's fire intent had already reached level 1, and when he cultivated the 5-elemental wind lightning technique to the level of 5 elements becoming one, his fire intent had gotten even stronger and was on the verge of reaching level 2. For this reason, Zhao Feng's fire intent combined with the ancient blood devil sun bloodline was abnormally powerful. Tribulation lightning eye flame. A ball of lightning had already condensed in Zhao Feng's left eye. The moment the rank 3 true god was injured by Zhao Feng's ancient blood devil sun bloodline, he immediately activated it. Bang! A twisted tribulation lightning symbol, wreathed in terrifying soul energy, exploded on the rank 3 true god's head. Ah! The rank 3 true god of Yellow Dragon Pavilion let out a shrill scream. Just a moment ago, he was only being burned by the furious flames, but now, he felt like his soul was being torn apart. The pain of being cut into 10,000 pieces assailed his mind. Heaven engulfing palm. Zhao Feng's technique changed as he circulated spacetime intent and used another powerful combat skill. Zhao Feng's space intent had reached level 2 and his time intent had reached level 1, and the heaven engulfing palm itself was a medium-quality divine-level combat skill. The power of this palm technique was definitely many times stronger than the sky-destroying sacred lightning palm. Several heaven engulfing palm images, imbued with a vast and majestic aura, disappeared into the void. The next time they appeared, they were right in front of the rank 3 true god of Yellow Dragon Pavilion. Bang bang bang. The rank 3 true god, still suffering from the pain of his soul, had no way to resist and was struck by the heaven engulfing palm. Astonishing spatial ripples swept out in every direction, causing space itself to tremble. Wah! The rank 3 true god of Yellow Dragon Pavilion flew back for several thousand li, leaving a bloody path in his wake. At this moment, his soul, bloodline, and body were all severely injured. His fighting power was less than 40% of his peak state. Run! The rank 3 true god had a look of fear on his face as he turned to flee. Bzzz. Space intent surged as he prepared to use a spatial escape technique to escape. A rank 3 true god was defeated so easily. Han Ning was stunned to the spot. In this rank 3 true god's current state, even if he focused on escaping, there was a high chance that Zhao Feng would be able to kill him. However, Zhao Feng probably wouldn't pursue him, because the experts of Yellow Dragon Pavilion were already on their way. You think you can escape? Zhao Feng's expression was cold as he activated the god's spiritual space intent surging out and locking onto the surrounding area. Spatial lock eye. In a flash, an invisible spatial energy began to spread through the surrounding area. The area tens of thousands of li around the rank 3 true god had been sealed off by Zhao Feng, making it impossible for him to use spatial escape techniques. Even space intent was somewhat restricted. What? You also know a secret technique like this? The rank 3 true god was instantly thrown into a panic. Space intent was very difficult to comprehend, and space-type combat skills were also extremely rare. This rank 3 true god only had a low-quality divine artifact that could lock down space, but Zhao Feng could use an eye bloodline technique that could lock down space. Wind lightning eye flame. Zhao Feng had no time to waste words with him and immediately used a soul eye bloodline technique. Crack. A violet lightning flame exploded in the rank 3 true god's head. Limitless lightning eye flames wreaked havoc in both the physical and soul dimensions. Ah, spare me. The rank 3 true god's already injured soul and body naturally couldn't endure this. Sky-destroying sacred lightning palm. After using his eye bloodline technique, Zhao Feng used a physical skill. Boom! Bang! Crash! Massive amounts of intent energy surged toward the rank 3 true god of Yellow Dragon Pavilion. Han Ning stood in a daze in the distance, not daring to believe what she was seeing. A quasi-god had used lightning-like speed to push back a rank 3 true god, heavily injuring and even threatening to take his life. Was this golden-haired youth really not a quasi-god prodigy of a 5-star faction? Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame. Zhao Feng used one last Tribulation Lightning Eye bloodline technique to take the rank 3 true god's life. Hurry and leave. After killing the rank 3 true god, Zhao Feng took Han Ning with him and flew away. Other than a few of his trump cards, Zhao Feng had used his full strength to kill a rank 3 true god so quickly. Moreover, using eye bloodline techniques and powerful combat skills had also consumed a lot of Zhao Feng's energy. If he encountered another rank 3 true god, Zhao Feng probably wouldn't be their match. Not long after, an enormous pressure that seemed capable of crushing all things in the world descended. 2 elders with astonishing auras arrived where the rank 3 true god of Yellow Dragon Pavilion had died. One of them was true god Zhongtu. A great battle took place here, and there's also an aura of death here. True god Zhongtu's expression darkened. At this moment, he could not even use his message token to contact the rank 3 true god. The result was obvious. That brat has the ability to kill a rank 3 true god. True god Zhongtu didn't dare to believe it. You and I are so fast. Even if that brat has the strength of a top-class rank 3 true god, he still can't kill a rank 3 true god so quickly. The other elder said. It seems like he either had someone else helping him, or this brat has some sort of precious treasure on him. True god Zhongtu deduced. We can't let him and Han Ning go. The 2 figures angrily snorted and left with a flick of their sleeves. Zhao Feng took Han Ning with him and used instant movement to flee for 5 million li before stopping. Instant movement consumed a lot of energy, and Zhao Feng was also carrying someone else. Using instant movement nearly 10 times in a row was already his limit. Of course, if it weren't for the fact that Zhao Feng had only just met Han Ning and didn't trust her, he could have just taken her into the spacetime robe or his interspatial dimension. But the secret of the spacetime robe could not be lightly exposed, and Zhao Feng's interspatial dimension also had countless treasures that anyone below the ancient god level would covet. Many thanks, benefactor, for saving me. This lowly girl has nothing to repay you with. Han Ning immediately thanked Zhao Feng. Han Ning began to circulate her eye intent, sending a strange life intent into Zhao Feng's body in an extremely gentle manner. In a flash, Zhao Feng felt refreshed, all his fatigue swept away. At the same time, this life intent began to slowly heal Zhao Feng's injuries, even nourishing his body and replenishing his yuan qi. What a heaven-defying ability! Zhao Feng's expression froze in shock. If Han Ning's cultivation was a little higher, the effects of her treatment might have been even better, and she might even have been able to advance Zhao Feng's cultivation. Under the treatment of the Eye of Life, Zhao Feng was quickly restored to peak condition. Just call me Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng simply said. The journey to the Xiling Zone was extremely long, and Zhao Feng didn't like being called benefactor the entire time. I'll have to take another long detour. Let's first find an exchange spiritual hall and exchange for a map. The map in Zhao Feng's hands had an extremely limited range. If they were going to take a long detour, they would naturally have to exchange for a new map. Exchange spiritual halls were very easy to find, but they were also divided into ranks. The stronger the faction in control, the higher the rank of the exchange spiritual hall, and the larger the trade that could be carried out. 3 months later, Zhao Feng and Han Ning left the territories of Spirit Grass Gate and Yellow Dragon Pavilion and arrived at an exchange spiritual hall. In a certain area of the exchange spiritual hall, one only needed to pay a certain fee to obtain a small stall. The stall owner could set up a stall here and trade for the items they wanted. Zhao Feng paid a certain amount of god crystals in exchange for a stall. After thinking for a few moments, Zhao Feng took out the 2 cultivation treasures he had obtained from the phoenix nest. Zhao Feng then took out a wooden sign and wrote down a few large words, trading for a nearby map. This is Sky Lotus Nether Green Grass and Golden Essence Fruit. When the stall owner near Zhao Feng saw Zhao Feng take out these 2 items, his expression instantly changed, and a fiery light appeared in his eyes. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.